Warning, the Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother***ing ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Android-based microconsole Dan Ryan.
But what? I don't know what we're talking about. I am?
It's time for the June 10, 20, 30, 40, where we discuss notable game releases from decades past, including Android-based microconsoles.
Yeah, I got it. Never mind. Sorry, a little slow on the uptake. Very tired.
How adorable are glow Pikmin? Get ready to trip balls with Mario because the Stone Age Gamer Podcast starts now. Hi everyone, this is episode 469. It is the week of June 30th, 2023. Dan, I am the Gleeok Slayer.
Well, alright then. It's about damn time.
Now.
We've been sitting around talking about it, like, I mean, he's okay. Like, and I know it was just his birthday and like, whatever, it's fine. But if he could get on the fucking Gleeok Slane, what is he doing?
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a fucking challenge. But like, now when I see them, I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
I got you.
And then I do. I killed a handful of them. It's great. They're so much fun. They do this great bit where like the whole thing is you have to hit all three of the heads and the eyes. They each have their own life bars. And once you get all three of the heads stunned, it falls down, but the music changes to this like crazy, awesome, triumphant music while he's flopping around on the ground and you're beating the shit out of its heads.
Nice.
God, this game is great. So yeah, still playing Zelda near constantly. In fact, that's most of what I did for both Father's Day and my birthday was just sit around and play that game for hours.
I really wish I liked it. I really do. Like, I look at it and I'm like, man, I want to fucking be into that. I really do, but I am just not.
That's a bummer.
It is.
I just love it. I have yet to be even vaguely bored by it. I just don't want to stop playing it. I did the water temple. It was cool, but I have officially way over prepared for this.
But that's kind of how you do these games, right? You go super duper overboard.
It was advised to me to try and do the 4 main dungeons as early as possible because you get some really cool things from them.
Yeah.
But I kept not doing that. I did one and was like, it was a really awesome boss battle. And like, all right, that's really cool. All right, I'm going to do a few more things. That was like 2 weeks ago. That was a long time ago. And I've done every single time, like, all right, it's time to do another dungeon. I just get sidetracked for like days. And then eventually I finally was like, all right, no more sidetracks. No more. I'm doing this water temple. And I did it. And the whole like getting there was really cool. But yeah, I got to the boss and the boss was fairly easy to begin with. It was pretty clever. It was this like little muck monster thing that was like, oh, he's cute. He's kind of silly looking. And then he summoned this giant like pollution shark thing. And I was like, oh God. But then he hit me and it took away like a quarter of a heart. And I was like, the character this was like, I don't know how many more of those hits you can take. You better be careful. And I'm like, I think I could take, if my math is right, like 50 more of those hits. So I just kind of dicked around for the fight. The whole thing was that there was Zora's domain was being polluted by this like goop that was falling down from this sky island that was coming from this creature.
Okay.
And so the way I wound up doing a lot of it is there's a couple of ways that you can clear the goop. The game wants you to throw these like water seeds at it, but I had found these Zonai devices that were like fire hydrants that I could carry around and they shoot infinite water as long as I have enough battery power.
Okay.
So I stocked up a shitload of battery power and I just basically played Super Mario Sunshine, which walked around with this fucking fire hydrant doing everything. But a week ago, John had showed me an invention that he made that was a spinning flamethrower of death.
Nice.
And I was like, John, how did you make that flamethrower of death? And can I make it a water thrower of death? And so he explained it to me. And it was, he put a fan in the middle and then he put 2 wheels on either side going in opposite directions. And then we attached fire hydrants to each one of those wheels. And then as soon as I turned it on, it just spins around shooting water everywhere. I was like, awesome. Oh, perfect. So this basically just cleaned up all the mess that the boss was throwing at me. And then I just beat the shit The poor thing.
God. What a ridiculous game.
I love it. I love it so goddamn much. Frustrating side, I jumped back into Advance Wars and I fought the what's his name? The boss of the Black Hole Army?
Oh yeah, fuck. What is his name? It's some like metal sounding name.
Yeah, I can't beat him.
I can't remember off the top of my head now.
I am so stuck on this guy. I have no fucking clue how to beat this guy. The first time I fought him, it was like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to bed. And I fought him for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
To what was close to a stalemate, but it eventually turned a corner. I was like, I can't win. There's no amount of anything that I can do to win. He has infinite money, and he's not going to give up this base. What's that?
Jugger? Is it Jugger in that one?
No, it's something shorter than that.
Cole? Who the fuck is it?
Oh, that might be it.
I don't remember. Sturm. Is it Sturm?
Sturm, that's the one.
Yeah,
oh,
okay.
that guy. So, yeah. And
sorry, again, it's been a while. It's been a while since
over
I've
the
gotten up to that.
Our last couple of days, I fought him 2 more times, and he has just completely annihilated me. I've tried a different strategy every time. I've got no clue. I'm just completely and totally outclassed by this dude. So, like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I might try and look up a guide, but that feels really dirty for this game for some reason to me. Like, I think I'm done. Like, I am just not smart enough to get past this point. I'm just not. Because that's the thing. If I look up a guide for this, then I'm just going to be following a guide for the rest of the game, and that's just not going to feel like I'm accomplishing anything. I don't see any way to beat this guy. He's got me no matter which direction I go, no matter what I take first. He's just completely overwhelms me with, like, because I start off with, like, I don't know, 15 things, and he starts off with close to 40.
Yeah.
And he's just like, tanks everywhere. You want to do that? Cool. You are safe. There's nowhere on the board that I'm safe from any given turn. There's one turn in the beginning where he gets to move a little closer to me, and then no matter where I go on the board, he just fucks everything up. And I have no clue. Just none at all.
How I did it years ago. When I get back up there, I'll help you out.
I don't know what to do. I'm going to give it some more time and then go back to it. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to take a little time off. I'm just going to go back to Zelda, and then maybe I'll try it again. But, like, I really don't want to go out this way. I want to finish this game. You know, I want to be able to say I don't think I am. I don't think I can beat this guy. I just don't think I have it in me.
You can. And then you're going to go on to Advance Wars 2 and be like, oh my God, this is so much better.
That's what I want to get to, but I want to get through the first one first. But let's see. So that was a big source of frustration for me this week. I was really upset about that because I really want to finish that game because I really do like it, but, like, this was just a wall. This was unlike any battle I had faced before where, like, I'd be like, all right, maybe if I think of it differently. Every time, no matter how differently I thought about it, no matter what strategy I went for, it was like, there's got to be one specific way for me to get a foothold in the beginning of this, and I am not smart enough to figure it out. Somebody asked on our mailbag, what's a game that you love that you're not good at? And I said Donut Dodo, which is true, but it's fucking Advance Wars. That's the game that I love that I am just not good enough for.
Yeah, I know there's, oh man, like I said, it has been so long since I've played through that fucking game, or that particular battle, like I'm playing through currently. But it's been so long since I've gotten up to that point. There is, like, the early battle in that, like, the early turns in that battle are particularly important. I just forget which direction to be heading in. I'll get back there. I don't know. I started playing the Lies of P demo.
Oh, yeah?
And, man, I gotta tell you, I am not good at Soulsborne type games. That thing is fucking hard, man.
Oh, is that what this is? It's a
Soulsborne. Yeah, it's Dark Souls, Bloodborne. It's super fucking fun, and I really, really like it, and I'm really excited to get it. But God, I have been getting my ass kicked left and right by this fucking parade boss. It's just wild, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. You were still in the middle of your thing,
of course. I only have a few more little things.
What else you got? And then I'll jump back.
Let's see. On my birthday, I gave myself a small birthday present of downloading Yars Recharged on my Switch because as much as I'm enjoying playing it in the basement, I'm stuck on one level, which is like one of the last like 2 levels I think on the prefab levels that are in there, not the arcade mode, the challenges. That's it.
Okay.
I'll get through it. I keep getting close, but it's really fucking hard. But I love this game so much. I really want to have it somewhere other than just the basement to play it.
Yeah.
Like I still love going down to my basement. Most weekends on like a Saturday morning, I'll spend like an hour down here playing stupid Atari games on my Atari VCS. And I love it because it forces me to do, no, these are the only kinds of games you have. But like, I really like Yars Recharged and I want it to play it more accessibly without having to come down here. So I picked that one up. And I also picked up Annalyn. Which was that arcade-looking game that we saw on the one of the 3 billion showcases. It is awesome. It's not really exactly what I expected from watching the trailer. It really is very Pac-Man.
Nice.
But if Pac-Man was a side-scrolling platformer, and not like Pac-Man is a side-scrolling platformer like Pac-Land,
right?
Because it's instead of a maze, it's the level with the little platforms lined up the way that they are, but you have to collect these little gold coins just like the dots in Pac-Man, and there are crystals that work just like the power pellets in Pac-Man, where all the 4 snakes that are chasing after you get the crystal and you can defeat the snakes for a limited period of time. So it's just like Pac-Man in that regard, except it's a platformer. So instead of moving up, down, left, and right, you have to jump to the different levels. But the snakes, which act kind of like the ghost characters, have a different way of moving than you do. There are these like platforms that are in the background, kinda, and they can travel across those, but you can't. So like you walk to the end of a platform and you can see like this background platform that goes straight across, but you fall down, whereas the snakes can go straight across. But they also don't have the option of falling down like you do. Like they have to travel across that line, whereas you can't travel across that line. There's also these series of doors that are interconnected that they can go through and like kind of appear wherever you are, like whatever door is closest to you, they can go to whichever one they want. And that's every time they go through one, even off screen, is signaled by a sound. So you can always be aware if you hear that sound and you're near a door, jump or move away.
Right.
It's really, really, really well designed. And the levels are all fairly similar. At least so far. I've gotten up to, I think, level 8 or 9, and the first bunch of levels are really basic, like here's a series of platforms and the doors and the backgrounds. The second series of levels started to introduce like Donkey Kong Jr. elements, where it had vines that work exactly like Donkey Kong Jr. So like it's still the same basic premise, you have to collect all the dots just like Pac-Man, but you now have to climb up and down these vines, where like if you're holding 2 of them, you move fast up, but you move slow down.
Yeah.
You're holding 1 of them, you move slow up, but you can move fast down, that kind of a thing. Those are tough because the snakes can like jump at you, but again, they can't land. They like jump at you and they have to land all the way down to the bottom of the screen once they do their leap. So it's like you can kind of maneuver around them that way. It is a freaking good game, man.
That sounds awesome.
And it's very simple arcadey. It's like Donut Dodo and Murtop. This is just it's right in that category. It's like the 4 that I'm rocking: Galactos or Galacticos. I can't remember. It's Galacticos, Murtop, Donut Dodo, and now Annalyn, and they just make me so freaking happy. They're great.
Just old school fucking arcade style, just simple and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like simple concepts, not necessarily simple to play, but a simple enough concept to where you can just
like an arcade game. Yeah, anyone can pick it up, but easy to play, difficult to master. The only other thing that I will mention is a couple of cool birthday presents that I got from listeners. Tiny Matt in the Discord, he sent me a copy of VVVVVinyl, which is
fucking cool.
The soundtrack to VVVVV on vinyl. Is a really cool looking record. It's great. I've listened to it like 8 times since we got it. It's really freaking good. It sounds great. The sound quality is wonderful, unlike that Mega Man record that makes me sad.
I think that record sounds really good. I don't know what you're talking about. I think
as soon as you get soon as you get to or like close to the center of the record, it starts to get crunchy. It's
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm not. I love the way it sounds at the beginning, but I don't love the way it sounds in the middle. Like, you guys, I understand this is vanity vinyl to you. I'm sure of it. This was like, we got this. We're just going to put the sound right here on this record, and then we're going to make the record look cool. We're going to make the packaging look cool, and collectors are going to buy this. And I can't imagine that there's enough people listening to it, because if enough people are listening to this vinyl that they bought, they're probably not going to be super happy with the way it sounds if they're listening to it through a nice device. And
see, that's the thing. I haven't listened to it yet on my new turntable. Maybe I will have.
It doesn't really destroy everything, but there is a noticeable sound quality difference the closer you get to the center of the record. And the guy that we interviewed from Ship to Shore, I sent a copy to him, and he was like, yeah, that's what this, I forget what he called it, but he's like, yeah, that's a thing that you have to look out for with these kinds of records. If they're not mastered properly, once sound gets really complex, once there's a bunch of things happening, that kind of stuff can get messy the closer you get to the center of a record. He explained the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a certain degradation in the...
Because, the rings are getting so much smaller and like kind of sort of closer together. It's like, if you don't have it done just right, then you're going to start to get that little crunchy feedback. And, I've heard it on one or two, like, older, non-video game sound records as well, but it's something that's especially prevalent in, like, 8-bit chiptunes, because they're, the waves are all, like, crunchy and squarey and thick to begin with.
There's a very distinctive sound quality to them that once that's altered, especially for music that, not even just psychopaths like you, but like music that you have heard over and over and over again for the last 30 40 years, whatever, of your life, you're gonna notice when it sounds different.
Exactly.
There's a fucking remastered fucking Grateful Dead record that I was just like, every Friday, like, I get up in the morning and check, like, what are the new records that have come out this week or whatever, and like add them to my YouTube music so I can listen to them and, kind of whittle down the good shit and whatever. And there's a fucking Grateful Dead remaster that came out, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And it's got like a new mix on there, and I started listening to it, and I was like, nope, this sounds fucking totally wrong. Totally wrong. This does not at all sound like what it's, and it probably sounds better, but I can't get to that point of judging it objectively because it doesn't sound right. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
Like, especially, it's got, like, I'm a basic bitch fucking Grateful Dead fan. And, like, Casey Jones is one of my favorite Grateful Dead songs, because of course it is. And, like, especially listen to that one, like, the highs are really high and tinny. I don't know, it's just, no. Nope. Going back to the other one.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm not a Grateful Dead fan.
I'm not. I don't
dislike Grateful Dead.
I am only a Grateful Dead fan when Jerry Garcia is singing. When it switches off from Jerry, I'm like, no, it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't dislike them actively, I guess. It's just like not really my bag.
I've gotten older and mellowed, I've gotten more and more into them. Like, I listened to them when I was like in middle school and whatever, and going through like my 60s and 70s, like rock and whatever, fucking exploration and discovering, like, oh, is Zeppelin any good? No, they're really not. Like, no, that's not true. They're pretty good. Like, and going back and like listening to Bowie and being like, nah, I still think I like Freddie Mercury is a better singer, and like going through all that, I was like, well, I'm gonna listen to the Grateful Dead. And I was like, it's okay, it's all right. It's not 100% for me, but as I've gotten older and mellowed out more, like, yeah, all right, I get it.
Well, let's see. The other gift I got from Jamie Hill just showed up today. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but he got me one of those NYXI Wizard controllers.
Oh, nice.
The things that's like the Joy-Con controllers, that the GameCube Joy-Cons, basically. I haven't had a chance to try it. I was hoping to get to it today so I could talk about it on the show, but I haven't even opened the box, but I promise I'll get to it soon, and I'll talk about it next week. That was very kind. Thank you very much for the gifts, folks. You are very, very nice.
We do have the best listeners.
We do indeed. I'm looking at this. So this has bothered me. Right before the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo made a bunch of like weird shadow announcements. And one of them was that one of the amiibo that I'm missing, the Skyward Sword Link, is coming back in print. And it showed up on Best Buy's website for like 4 seconds and like sold out immediately.
Of course.
But it's weird because it still says pre-order, but it won't let you add it to the cart. But now it's saying it has a release date of July 7th. So maybe I didn't miss it. Maybe it was just some sort of weird them putting it back on their site thing. I got all the way to checkout twice before it kicked it back out saying, sorry, this is out of stock. So
that sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. But they, I don't know. I guess we'll get to the rest of that once we talk about the Nintendo Direct. But I believe that's everything of importance. It was a very good birthday, a very good Father's Day. And thanks everybody for the nice gifts. And thanks to my wife for making everything happen the way that she did. Because she got the kids out of the house for like several hours on my birthday. That's awesome. And it was funny because like we were playing Zelda in the morning, and then we got to the water temple, and then my mom showed up to take the kids, and I was like, all right, John, I will not play Zelda while you're gone. I'll wait till you guys get back this afternoon and find something else to do. And that's when I downloaded Yars Recharge and Anilin. It wound up being just a really fucking great afternoon of playing dorky arcade games, because God, I love Yars Recharge. That game's so fucking good. Yeah. Nice. Anyway, there you go. What about you? What'd you do for Father's Day? What have you been playing?
Well, I did. Before I do that, I just got a disappointed message from my aunt. Because I think I'm funny, right? I think I'm pretty humorous, and the rescue is getting a 3-legged dog, which is like all I've ever wanted in my whole life. Not my whole life, but since I saw the 3-legged dog on the Alice in Chains record, I was like, yes, I must have a 3-legged dog. At some point in my life, I will call it Tripod. Ha ha ha. That's so fucking funny. So we're getting a 3-legged dog. And it's a girl, not a boy. So, I don't know, Tripod feels like a boy's name to me, which is a fucking weird thing to feel about an inanimate object. The tripod,
if the dog has 2 legs.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair.
Tripod works for a girl.
That's fair. But I was just like, yeah, it just didn't feel right. And we're going back and forth with names. And the name, we're going to go with Peg, because she should have a peg leg to give her forehead, which is what Tiff came up with. But I wanted to call her Ann, which was going to be short for amputee. And nobody else thought that was as funny as I did. Tiff was like, we're not fucking calling this dog Ant. But I was like, no, but do you get it, though? Do you get it? Like, amputee? That's super funny. And I
think it's great.
I think it's fucking hilarious. I'll just call her
The dog
Ann.
doesn't give a shit.
Nah, she doesn't fucking know. She doesn't know. I love animals, but they don't fucking know. They don't. Shocking, they don't understand English. It's weird. But my aunt just sent me a text message. She was like, please don't name the dog Peg. And I was like, well, that's better than what I wanted to go with, which was amputee. And I just got a bunch of very sad emoji faces back. So I've disappointed my family. Whatever, amputee is hilarious.
I agree.
Such clever wordplay. Anyway, on Father's Day, I finally got an upgrade from the suitcase record player that I've been using since my birthday. And I originally only wanted like the suitcase, like the Crosley Cruiser or whatever the hell it's called, because I wasn't sure if I was sure, but I claimed I wasn't sure if this was a thing that I wanted to like approach as a hobby and get into. And hundreds of records later, it was like, yeah, okay, I suppose I'm into it. So Tiff got me an Audio-Technica fucking turntable, like Direct Drive and whatever, and it just sounds so much better. And she got me the Weezer debut album, the Blue record, I was just fucking listening to that and putting on a bunch of other shit. The first thing I played on it, because I took it out of the box and Tiff was like, it feels very 80s. I like the way it looks. Like, it just looks very 80s. And I was like, well, that 100% determines the first record that's going on. And I grabbed Phil Collins' No Jacket Required and started with Sussudio. She was like, fuck, it's like American Psycho in here. And I was like, if you play your cards right, it is. Which, again, she didn't find as funny as I did. So, like, we just listened to a bunch of records, and I've just been going through the catalog. Discogs, which I use to catalog all of my shit, wildly overestimates the value of my collection currently. Because I do have, like, some pricey records, but it's like, at the top end, this is worth, like, thousands and thousands of fuck you. But it's got this handy little feature where if you go into your My Discogs or whatever, your catalog, and you shake it, it'll pull up a record at random. So that's what we've been doing. I've been like, all right, Hero, it's your turn, and giving her the phone, and she'll shake it and be like, all right, we're listening to fucking Dolly Parton. Sweet. Right on. Or then, I'll give it to Katie, and it's like, all right, we're going from Dolly Parton to Herbie Hancock or whatever the case may be, or Barbra Streisand, because Tiff has a lot of Barbra Streisand records, because of course she does. And like, Barbara's terrible. I don't know if anybody knows this or not. She's not a good singer. So like, we've just been going through and like listening to a bunch of records. We went out to a thoroughly overpriced dinner on Father's Day. I think I've just come to the conclusion I just don't like going out to eat very much. I find going out to eat to be more of a frustrating experience than enjoyable, because it's so absurdly expensive no matter where you go. And I find the food, and it's Tiff's fault because she's an incredible cook. I find the food to be just much worse, if not on par with what she makes at home. So it's like, fuck, I just spent, like $200 to go out, like take the four of us out to dinner, because it's not just me and Tiff ever. It's the four of us, or we're going out with the family. And it's like, man, this is just crazy. So I don't know. I'm a curmudgeon about that shit. And then during the week, we finally got around to watching Clerks 3, which I thought was just the worst fucking movie. I was so disappointed in it. And I've sat with it for a couple of days, and man, I'm more disappointed in it now than I was when I watched it. I don't know why. I can't really because I talked to you about this like earlier.
I'm not sure what you expected out of it.
I mean, I think the first Clerks is brilliant. It's not a good movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. I think it's great. I mean, I think the first one is by far the best one.
See, I think Clerks 2 is the best one.
I love Clerks 2.
As a movie, yeah, there were some actual actors in Clerks 2 versus...
But I think that's part of what made Clerks 1 so special, was that it's just this weird, ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And Clerks 2 was like, all right, well, what if we actually made a real movie out of Clerks?
Yeah.
But like later, and like, it's great. I did the dance from Clerks 2 at my wedding. Like, I love Clerks 2. But my favorite, I think, is there's just a certain magic to Clerks 1 that I think was impossible to recapture. But
I mean, I certainly have, I have a great deal of nostalgia and like rose-colored glasses for the first one. Like, I remember watching it over this girl's house, this girl named Rose, who my buddy Ryan was trying to get with, and I was hooking up with this girl Wendy at the time, and like we went over to Rose's house like of a summer afternoon, and she happened to have the VHS cassette. I was like, oh man, I've heard about that. I haven't seen it yet, or whatever. And she put it on, and we just sat there, and it was like, me and this girl I was making out with while watching Clerks, and And there's just like a certain like teenage fucking nostalgia for that sort of thing. I prefer Clerks 2 as a film. This, I don't know, it just like 3 felt cheap. I get that Kevin Smith's work has always been, and I love Kevin Smith. Like, he's ours, right? He's a Jersey boy done well. He made it out or whatever the fuck, and he's successful, and everybody loves him and all of that stuff. But I don't know, it just felt so self-referential that, like, I mean, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it yet or whatever, but they both have heart attacks? Like, fucking come on. Stop it, you hack. That's ridiculous. That is absurd. They both have heart attacks within like a month of each other? Fuck off. This is nuts. And like I tried to, like, I was reading some reviews and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me consult what the internet has to say. And they're like, well, no, actually, and I love posts that start that way. Actually, if you dissect the parallel journeys of the characters, it makes perfect sense for them both to have guys. Fuck you. No, it doesn't. Fucking lazy writing. And I didn't care for it. Oh, it just made me real mad. So
I loved it.
Yeah, that
was great. I loved it.
Then what the fuck else did we watch? We watched something else that was good. Now I can't fucking remember because I'm old and I'm tired. My brain doesn't work very well. I'm very tired today. I don't know. It's the weather, I think. I don't know. I'm just exhausted. But I then started playing the Liza P demo, and I've put most of my time into that this week, like I was saying earlier, because I'm just not very good at like Soulsborne style games. I like Dark Souls, but I just wasn't very good at it, so I didn't put a lot of time into it. And I like Bloodborne, and I certainly put more time into that than I did the Dark Souls stuff, but I still wasn't very good at it. I haven't played Elden Ring at all, or the what's the fuck, Sekiro? That's the ninja one, the Shadows Die Twice or whatever. I haven't played either of those, but one of my favorite Disney stories or fables, whatever, is Pinocchio. I love it. I love how fucking weird the Disney movie is. If you go back and watch that movie as an adult, that is a fucking weird ass movie. Like, super fucking weird. Pleasure Island shit and Monstro. It's all just very fucking strange. This fever dream kind of thing that's happening. And looking at the demo for the trailer for this game, I was like, oh, what a really cool idea. Like, all these puppets have gone crazy in the city. And, like, it's Geppetto's fault. He definitely has to be the bad guy in the game. Whatever, but the blue fairy comes in as Butterfly, wakes up Geppetto's puppet. And you got to go help out. And you can pick from a bunch of different swords that you want to fight with and go through the city. And there's like these old school style, like police officers, like European police officers, like with the big round hats and whatever. But they're all like robotic puppets and they're coming after you. It's a fucking dope game. But as you're making your way to through the first main area, the parade master is this huge boss that you have to fight, and he just keeps beating the fucking shit out of me. Because I don't know if I'm trying to do too much or if I'm not doing enough. It's one of those types of games where it's like I'm either not dodging enough or I'm dodging way too much and I'm panicking. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But there's a rhythm to the combat with the bigger bosses that's really, really cool, that I feel like I'm almost there. And once that clicks, like once that sort of pattern recognition and rhythm really clicks in, this might be my favorite game this year. It fucking looks incredible. The story's wild. It's just nuts, man. I really, really like it. It's just real hard. And I don't really play real hard games anymore. I'm too old for that. But this one, what's really nice about it is that it doesn't feel too hard because it's cheap. Like, it's not like, it is definitely, it's hard, but fair. And the reason I'm losing is because I'm fucking up, not because it's not a doable thing. It's just a game style that I'm not very well versed in. You put me down in front of a sports game, I'll have that shit figured out pretty quickly. Standard action adventure, platformer, like whatever, I'm cool, I can jump right into those. These very combat heavy, dodge heavy, like mechanical fucking Soulsborne games. I just don't have the experience yet, but I will definitely be picking this game up as soon as it comes out because it is fucking cool. I'm really excited about it. Who knew? Who knew a Soulsborne Pinocchio game would be the thing that I would be so excited about?
Not me. I wouldn't have called that.
Oh, it wasn't on my bingo card.
Then again, what was?
A couple of things that Nintendo announced. Speaking of bingo cards, there was a Nintendo Direct, Kris.
There sure was.
There sure as heck was. Can I say, before we start, I don't know if you feel this way, because I have purposefully tried to stay distant from the Discord since the Nintendo Direct, because I didn't want anybody else's things to, like, color my conversation with you about it. I feel this was the first Nintendo Direct where watching it, I feel like Nintendo said to themselves, fuck it. We're not trying to get any new customers. We're just trying to make shit for the people we already have. Like, we're not trying to sell any new Switches with this Nintendo Direct. This is definitely like, if you have one, here's some shit you might be interested in, but we don't fucking care about selling anymore.
Oh, I think you're wrong about that in terms of the very last announcement of this situation, but we'll get there.
Okay. I don't know. It felt very. It didn't feel as
up until that last one. Yes, I 100% agree with you. This is for Switch owners. There weren't many things in here that were like, yeah, this is gonna sell. This is gonna sell the system. I mean, maybe one or two of them might. That last one I think is going to. I think
when we got done,
I think thinking that we'll get there.
Yeah, no. When we got done, I looked at Tiff. I was like, man, that was a really solid show. If you like Nintendo games, like if you're not into Nintendo games though, like really wasn't much for you.
Yeah,
and she was like, no, I don't think so. I disagree. I was like, oh, you're fucking wrong. Don't argue with me. I have a podcast.
I agree with you. I give it a solid B+. Like. Overall, it's kind of how I felt about it. I've been, sitting back and ruminating on it a bit more since, and the good stuff in there was very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, let's break it down. We kicked things off with it took, according to the YouTube channel, it took 5 minutes and 37 seconds to get to the first farming game. So,
well, that's
longer
because
than I thought.
It started though with Pokemon DLC, like at the most obvious thing, but more Pokemon is never a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's the only thing that was surprising about that to me was that this is what they're doing in the Nintendo Direct and not a separate Pokemon Direct,
Yeah.
And it was a chunk. It was like 4 minutes of this Pokemon DLC.
Yeah, it looks cool though.
They dove right in. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't have no fucking clue what I'm looking at. It just looks like more Pokemon to me. I don't know.
Looks like more Pokemon. The hairdo was real weird on the character, like the cross thing in the front, like over the nose, between the eyes.
I don't know.
It
looked like more Don't all the Pokemon characters have weird ass hairstyles? I don't
know. That one felt
Pokemon.
That was like a super weird one. That one was like, I don't know. That one kind of felt to me they were like, we fucked up, but it's going out that way. It's too late. I
feel like there are a lot of actual Pokemon designs that are literally that.
No, that's 100% true.
Yeah,
I'm putting this one in as a gag. Fuck it. Oh shit, it's out. It's out. Damn it, I was supposed to take that one out.
Yeah, Pokemon. I mean, strong way to open it. Just, I don't care.
It's not like Pokemon's popularity is going to dip fucking ever.
Yeah, that's an evergreen title if there ever was one.
Yeah.
That's good on them. Way to go.
Yeah.
They followed that up with some new footage of Sonic Superstars, which I gotta say I'm pretty excited about. I know you're probably not in the least.
I could not give a fuck less, but my kid's real excited about it.
Yeah,
I do think it looks really nice.
It does look really nice.
Animates really. It looks like a cartoon, not as much as another game we're going to talk about, but it looks very cartoony in a really good way to me.
Agreed. Yeah, it's got personality. I like it. It's making me happy.
It looks like WayForward made it, which I think is a very high compliment.
It also looks a lot better in motion than. So right after they unveiled this game at the Game Awards, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of those things they unveiled this. They showed off the first Switch screenshots, and they were side by side, pretty noticeably downgraded from the other ones. But now that I'm seeing it in motion, I can't tell the fucking difference. Like, I can still, if you look at them side by side, yeah, absolutely. But this game looks great in motion on Switch, so I'm no longer concerned about that. So
and that's just the further we get along into the current gen gaming cycle. Like, the Switch was underpowered when it came out.
Yeah,
and that was 7-8 years ago.
It's 2017.
It hasn't gotten better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was
people have gotten better at using it. I mean,
sure.
It's never going to be a PlayStation 5.
No, and that discrepancy is just going to continue to grow as people get better at the PlayStation 5 and the series and whatever.
But with a game like this, it really doesn't matter, which is great.
It really doesn't.
I am genuinely excited to get my hands on this one. It looks really good. The company that's making it is one that does not have a very good reputation. I can't remember what they are, what their name is right now, but they have a less than stellar Sonic reputation. However, it looks like they are building this on the architecture that was that Mania built.
Right.
So,
right.
And that was great. So, okay, sure.
Yeah, do it.
You've got me. I'm excited. The weird power-ups look good. All the playable characters look good. I'm in. They followed that up with followed that up with some stuff I didn't care about. Paleo, this farming
like
fantasy thing.
It's almost like an MMORPG farming.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I did
not care.
It does nothing for me. Same with this Persona game, Persona 5 Tactica. We saw this at the Microsoft. This was one of the 5 Persona games or whatever they showed off at the Microsoft one. And I didn't care about it then. I don't care about it now.
It's cool that it's coming to Switch, though. That's cool.
Yeah. It's not surprising, but also, sure. Yeah. Myth Force. I like the idea of this one.
I think this game looks so fucking cool. I love it.
It's not going to be good. Yeah, that's the thing. There's something about the execution that's not like the fact that it's a first-person roguelike,
Yeah.
I think that's what's turning me off. But the world that it's built in, this very He-Man Thundercats inspired world, they got the looking pretty good. Yeah. I just wish it was being applied to a different game.
Yeah. I get big Thundar the Barbarian and the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon vibes from it as well.
Yeah.
The
cell shading looks great.
I think it looks so fucking cool. I really, really hope that it's on sale for $10 one time, because then I will pick it up and be really excited to play through it.
Yeah.
I think any more than that, and I'm just going to be disappointed. But it looks so fucking neat. My childhood, it's right there.
Love the art direction. I love all that about it. Like I said, I just wish it was attached to a different game.
Yeah.
Following that up was a pretty surprising disappointment for me. Splatoon shows up, and I'm like, all right, we're finally going to learn more about that DLC, and then we didn't.
Nope.
No, we got a new Splatfest coming. Motherfucker, that could have been a tweet. What is this?
It could have been a fucking tweet, you dick.
Yeah, the DLC. You announced a whole DLC single player campaign. I haven't bought this game yet because I'm waiting to see what the single player DLC campaign is. And nothing. What are you doing? Where is it?
They're saving that for something. I don't know.
For fucking what?
I don't know. It's the most obvious choice, I think, in all of Splatfest history. It's obviously mint chocolate chip is the flavor you have to pick. Because that is also the greatest flavor of ice cream. And
what are we doing?
I will hear no arguments against that.
But I don't personally agree, but I also understand where you come from. I'm not a big mint fan, but it doesn't matter. You're comparing apples and oranges. They're vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. No, mint chocolate.
Mint chocolate chip.
That's like topping. That's complicated. You know, you put mint chocolate chip up against like cookie dough and fudge ripple or something. You don't put it up against vanilla.
If I could be if I could perhaps be so crass as to suggest that if they went with vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, you were basically giving your players a decision between cum, blood, or shit to cover the board in. I think with well, I mean, if they would, that would have been some shit. If they came out with the gobbledygook, blah, 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 and on the bottom it's like, and our three choices: cum, blood, or shit. Fuck, man.
Yes, I understand.
I think when you put the mint everywhere,
but I think they've done that before.
But I think when you put the mint, I don't know, maybe they
mint chocolate chip against vanilla, like strawberry doesn't have a fucking chance.
No, it doesn't. Nor should it. Strawberry ice cream is fucking for the birds. Fuck off.
It is niche. It's the least liked flavor in Neapolitan, but like you're doing it. It's Neapolitan. It's not.
Have you ever met anybody who's like my favorite ice cream flavor? And I can already see into the future with you fuckers being like, well, I'm going to put this on the Discord and totally lie about it. Like, don't fucking try and come in here and say your favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry. That is
I've
nobody's
never met a
favorite
single person in my life.
No,
never
and you
in
never
my life.
will.
I mean, I've met people
who
like strawberry ice cream. They're not kicking it out of bed, but like...
No, I'm not kicking any ice cream. I bought fucking mustard ice cream and ate it. Because, it was really... It wasn't as bad as you would think. It was not... It was the hot honey ice cream. Van Leeuwen's does like really weird flavors. The hot honey ice cream was better. The worst that I've ever had, honestly, was the Arizona green tea ice cream. I fucking love green tea ice cream. I love it. It's one of my very favorite things. There's a Japanese steakhouse up in North Jersey called Kiku that does a fucking incredible green tea ice cream. It's one of the best things I've ever fucking had. I was really excited about it. I was like, Arizona green tea. It'll just be like, haha, that's a gimmick, whatever. It's got the fucking flowers on the front and whatever. No, it tasted like Arizona green tea, but in ice cream form. I would rather have the fucking mustard ice cream over that. It was real bad. But no, nobody's favorite flavor is strawberry. It's just not a thing that I believe. And seriously, you can type it in the Discord and I will not believe you. You fucking lying liars.
So following that, we head back into Pokemon territory with Detective Pikachu Returns.
Fucking love Detective Pikachu. It's such an absurd idea.
This was announced. God, when was this announced?
2 years ago?
Oh, I think it was more than that. Announcement. It's been years. This was announced and like disappeared off the face of the earth years ago. So for it to just like miraculously show back up and kind of looking like shit.
It doesn't look great.
Visually speaking, like it doesn't look very good. It doesn't look, I mean, I guess it doesn't look specifically bad, but like, where is the lighting?
Yeah, it's just it looked unfinished.
Everything's very, it looks unfinished. Everything looks like, it's like they turned off whatever their lighting engine is. It's just like everything is these flat colors. It's like, you can do better than this. I know you can. There was a Pokemon in this very direct that looks better than this.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes ago. This is a very strange looking game.
However, I fucking love Detective Pikachu. It's one of the most absurd concepts that somehow works. I fucking love the movie. I thought the movie was great.
The movie was a good time, yeah.
I love everything about the fact that it exists. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, me neither.
But I love that it's there.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I'm very happy to see. But it's also one of the things that kind of makes me feel like we have entered the end game for the Switch, which again is fine. The Switch has been out for a long time. It's time to start winding down. I feel like a lot of the more interesting new projects that Nintendo's working on are probably on the Switch's successor. But that doesn't mean that we're not getting anything cool. Like the next fucking megaton announcement here. This starts up with the intro from Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're bringing Super Mario RPG to NSO. That's lovely. I'll play that again. And it's not. It's explaining why it hasn't been on NSO, because they're remaking it from scratch and it looks amazing.
It does look really, really good.
It looks like they took the artwork from the original game, like those CG models that they then pixelated the shit out of to get to work on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that game is rough to play now, like on modern TVs.
Yeah.
That did not handle the trip to high definition well at all.
No.
It looked fine on CRTs. It looked great. But the blur of a CRT was doing a lot of heavy lifting on a Mario RPG.
Yeah.
And this, like, it looks like they slightly modernized those original concept art character models. They got Yoko Shimomura back for the music, which sounds fucking incredible. They've added cutscenes to accentuate this game's silly ass story. I could not possibly be happier with what it's perfect. It is exactly how I imagined a remake of this could look. It's
100% what it should be. It's exactly what it should be.
It is not Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's what I'm talking about. Because they're not redoing the game and changing things, and they're literally remaking the game exactly as it was, which is what I fucking want out of most remakes. I don't want them to just remake the game and replace the old one in some weird fashion. Like, I just wanted
do-over.
Yeah, just do-over.
Do-over.
It's like there was nothing wrong with the gameplay. Just make it look better, and that's what this is. And it looks so good, and it sounds amazing.
And you know me, I am not a Mario guy by any stretch of the imagination. Super Mario RPG is fucking great. It's hilarious. It's weird.
It's short.
It's short. Did they have to? Because what was the deal that held this up for so long? Like, was it working with Square?
I don't know. I mean, like, what do you mean by held it up so long?
Because, like, this has been... I remember, talk about this, like, on the fucking GameCube. Of, like, there's going to be an updated...
yeah. Well, like, back then...
This has been in rumors and, word around the campfire for decades at this point.
I mean, I guess back then in the GameCube era, they were just kind of recovering their relationship with Square, but I don't think they necessarily needed Square for this game, because they've re-released the Super Nintendo version on Virtual Console. It was on the Super NES Mini. Like, the game hasn't been out of reach for people for a long
that's
time.
fair.
I think Nintendo owns it outright, but it does seem that Square is working with Nintendo on this remake, which is great.
I mean, because this was
there's still
this
so
was
much
Square
information that nobody knows about it.
Yeah,
this
was Square at the height of their
is,
powers.
Right. But yeah,
I think it's awesome. I'm really excited.
Could not be happier about it.
Yeah, me too. I might actually pick it up. I might.
I'm 100% picking this up. I fucking love Mario RPG. I just replayed it. What was it? Last year, I think, with John. We went through it, and he thought it was amazing. He was obsessed with it for like 2 weeks afterwards of listening to the music. He thought it was the greatest thing. So yeah,
it's a really good battle system.
It is. It's a super fun battle system with like the timed hits is such a genius move.
Yeah,
like everything about this game just absolutely
it's great.
Amazing. So what happened next, Dan?
What did happen next? I don't have the list in front of me. Was it the...
So they were like, but we're not done with the Mario.
Oh, yeah.
There's more stuff happening.
Here's Princess Peach.
This was such a weird announcement that it kind of
really
pissed me off.
Yeah. We're going to show you absolutely nothing about this.
We're going to show you nothing. Jack shit.
Look, she's standing on this particular point on stage, and all her clothes are changing. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't fucking know. Then we'll just stop.
That just stops, and they're like, we're not going to tell you anymore.
That's
what?
Right. That's right.
It reminded me of the Yoshi's Woolly World announcement from like ages ago. They're like, check it out. We made Yoshi out of yarn. Looks pretty cool, huh? Peace.
Anyway.
Anyway, wait, but no, you're not done. You're not done talking to me about this yet. How dare you?
Guys are fucking edging me, and I don't really appreciate that.
Like, I wish I could say it looks great, because, I mean, it kind of does. Like, she's on stage. It seems to be like that. She's got some kind of attack that hit a football player looking guy, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Like, there's not enough for me to go on. I'm thrilled that Peach is getting a new game. I'm thrilled that it's not, the weirdly misogynistic Super Princess Peach, where it's based on her not being in control of her emotions. Like,
yeah, which is a shame, because it's an interesting game that looks good and plays really well.
Yeah,
there's just some underlying okay, that's
a little problematic.
This isn't aging well, guys.
Probably could have done a bit better with this one, guys.
Yeah. Look at this fucking broad. Like, that should be the name of the game. Look at this crazy bitch.
Look at this. You can cry on cue. That's just right. Like a woman.
Just like a woman can.
Oh my God. But they weren't done. They were like, but we're not done with the Mario franchise yet. Check this shit out. They're remaking Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for this.
And that's really cool too.
That's phenomenal, because I've never played that one. I've played 1 and I loved 3. I loved 1 and I loved 3, but I never played 2. Because I just don't love playing on a little teeny tiny handheld.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to. Now I can play it on my TV.
Where's fucking Treasure Tracker 2, though? That's what I want to know. Justice for Toad.
You know what? I feel like that might happen sometime. I feel like that might happen someday.
That was a cool little game. I would play
it. It was a cool little game, and it did well when it re-released on Switch.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
This is awesome, though. Like, if you're a Mario guy, or gal,
which I am,
if you're a Mario person, in that world, like you got some stuff to be excited about.
Oh yeah, I was eating well at this point in the Direct. Like, I didn't care about anything until like Sonic Superstars was pretty exciting, but that wasn't new because we had already seen Sonic Superstars. And then I was like, yeah, don't care. Mario RPG, what a weird ass Peach game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Fucking hey, this is great. Keep making 3DS games on the Switch. Kid Icarus Uprising.
Keep doing it. Yeah, please.
Metroid Samus Returns. Kid Icarus and Metroid. Come on, bring them on over.
Do it.
You should.
You fucks.
And then right after that, we got the Batman Arkham trilogy.
Those games are fucking great. Those games are fucking great.
I loved the first one. I never played the sequels. I'm a little disappointed because from what I've understood, this is not getting a physical release. Kind of a bummer. But quick correction, it turns out there is going to be a physical version of the Batman Arkham trilogy. However, only the first Arkham Asylum game is going to be on the actual little game card, and everything else is going to be a digital download. So that still stinks, but there's my little correction. Now back to our show.
It'll be really interesting to see how the Switch handles those games, particularly the last one, because there's a lot going on in Arkham Knight, which I would even argue that you don't even necessarily need to play that one. It's definitely it was my least favorite in the series.
That's what I've heard from most people. It's like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are where it's at. But
yeah. But it's
Arkham
not.
Knight was what was that on?
PS3, I think.
Oh, then the Switch is fine. That's the thing that
might have been.
That's 4. The thing that everyone forgets about the fucking Switch. Oh, it was PS4. Okay,
it was PS4.
See, there you go. Now that's a slight question mark.
Because the screens that I just looking at it didn't look great. It looked okay. Like just the entire trailer that they showed, but I've also I've played the HD remasters of those games, so if you have a PS4 or PS5 or whatever, or an Xbox, you're playing the HD remasters of that, and on the Switch, you're playing last gen version, so they're still great
just
games.
Like I remember it on an Xbox 360. So.
Yeah, they don't necessarily need the graphical upgrade, certainly for the first two. It'll be really interesting to see how Arkham Knight works on the Switch, though.
Well, that seems like it's in good hands.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven. Apparently, this is a game that people care about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Not for me, but it's cool.
Followed it up with way too much time. I'm talking about 1 minute and 8 seconds of solid Just Dance 2024.
That's a lot.
I do not understand what this was doing. Like, they could have done anything else in this direct. Just Dance is not a game you need to advertise. It's Just Dance. It sells because it's Just Dance. Not like, oh, the people watching this Nintendo Direct are going to be really excited about the fact that there's a Just Dance 2024. Of course there is.
Yeah, it'd be weird if there wasn't.
Exactly. This is such a waste of space in this presentation. I'm not saying Just Dance should not exist.
No,
I'm just saying
sure.
you don't need to advertise it.
I'm just saying it's coming out on the PS2 this year. I think there's a PS2 version of Just Dance 2024.
Nintendo DS.
It might be. Who the fuck knows? Somebody will buy it.
So we were definitely like Gloomhaven was like, all right, I'm back out again. I'm just gonna keep thinking about that Mario RPG because we got Gloomhaven, we got Just Dance, we got Silent Hope, Fae Farm, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Manic Mechanics, Mario and Rabbids
that
DLC.
Manic Mechanics looked pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks pretty cool.
That looked pretty neat.
It looks like a Overcooked with cars. Like yeah, that's pretty neat. But like it wasn't super exciting. And Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, like okay, they're still making Dragon Quest Monsters games. It doesn't look very good.
I was watching it with Katie, and she goes, "Why does this look like Dragon Ball?" And I just looked over and I was like, "Because Akira Toriyama's a fucking hack. I like him, but he's a fucking hack. Like let's just call it what it is. Yeah." It just is what it is. That doesn't look any different.
It does not look very good. It doesn't look very polished. It looks really low budget. Not impressive.
Comparing that to whatever the fucking the one that they just announced for like current gen consoles. What the fuck was that game called? Like All Out in the Sand and shit. The other Akira Toriyama where all the characters look the fucking same.
Oh yeah.
But like that game,
I don't remember what it's called.
Like if you put those two things next to each other, it's like, okay.
And like the Switch is capable of a hell of a lot more than this. This is not something you blame on the Switch being underpowered. This is like you're just not putting a whole lot of effort into this. But,
you guys are just doing this, aren't you? You're not bringing your A game.
But then we got a whole big thick look at Pikmin 4.
It looks
and
fucking
I am
great.
very, very, very happy about this. This looks fantastic.
Great. My whole family was excited. They love
after
the dog.
Pikmin 3, I am officially a Pikmin fan. And this just looks wonderful. I like the new camera angle being like low to the ground.
Yep.
I like the creative character. I like that you can go into a house.
Yeah, that was super wild. Like
really cool environments of like the underground stuff and like being in a house. Like
yeah.
I still don't understand when this. I don't understand the world of Pikmin very much. Like this house looks like
human,
clean.
Yeah.
Like I guess kind of figured like all these things you're finding are very like post-apocalypse, but like I'm looking at like I've just paused the video and like. This does not look like a post-apocalypse house. This looks like a house that is like this. It's well kept.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm very confused.
It's
but
weird.
I don't care.
It doesn't. No, it ultimately doesn't matter because Glow Pikmin.
Oh my god, Glow Pikmin! There's the whole night thing, like playing at night when having to use these Glow Pikmin, and the weird like you got to save the other people, but they get captured by like this weird leaf-headed Olimar looking dude, and you have to do some weird battle with him to get the people. Like that looks fun.
Yeah, everybody was super excited. I'm into it. It's just it's a really good. Looks great. It's a really good like family game, and not in like it's a fucking family game. You know, like it's a really fun because when we play Pikmin as a family, it is a very blue experience. Just everybody, my daughter's included. Tiff doesn't let him curse around her very much. I, however, don't give a shit because I'm the cool dad. But you know, it's like as we're playing, he's over there. The fuck are you doing? Like, there's a lot of that happens in the house. But it's a wonderful family experience.
Oh yeah, we the kids loved watching Karen and I play through Pikmin 3. and obviously this is going to have multiplayer in it too. And then at the end of it, they were like, "Oh, and check this shit out! Pikmin 1 and 2 are coming to Switch right now!"
Right now, which is great. They're awesome games.
And
that I will
really
fully admit, like you, I did not get it in the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't get it. But now that I get Pikmin, I really like to go back to these two. And they're similar to Metroid Prime. There's they dropped them immediately for sale digitally, and there's a physical version coming out later. So
how much are they?
They're $30 a piece.
Oh,
but you get both of them together for $50.
Oh, that's still too much.
It's my understanding that's way too much for Pikmin 1, but not for Pikmin 2. Pikmin 2, from what I've been listening to folks talk about this, apparently Pikmin 2 is a very beefy game. Pikmin 2, well worth $30. Pikmin 1 is like a couple hours long, it's a pretty short game. So that's kind of a weird thing. I feel like $50 for the both of them bundled together is a little spicy, but not like, I think 40 would have been the sweet spot, but 50's not striking me as way too much. So
they both should have been 20. Like the at this point, 20 years after release, like should have been $20. Fucking yeah, because I look at things like the fucking Tony Hawk HD remaster or whatever, and that game was not $50, and that was a full HD remake with relicensing music and all of that stuff, and that would have, in my opinion, would have been worth $50. I wouldn't have spent $50 on it. But I think when that game came out, it was like, I don't know, was it 20? Am I crazy?
Tony Hawk?
Yeah. The Tony Hawk.
No, Tony Hawk games were always full priced. Oh, the HD remaster? God, I don't know.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Like, because it's the full 1 and 2. I feel like it was, I don't know, maybe it was $40 for both of them. Like, I don't know. I just fit $30 a piece. That is
$30. Like, I feel like I'm into splitting the difference with you there. I think Pikmin 1 should have been 20, and Pikmin 2 should have been. Pikmin 2 I think is fine at 30, but I think 1 should have been 20, which is why the $50 price tag for the two of them still feels like it's not so bad that I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think paying, especially considering that it's not like you can go out and buy the first 2 Pikmin games for any sort of reasonable price right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I'll get them upscaled to HD. That's it. These aren't like Metroid Prime Remastered. These are just like some pretty basic upscalings. But whatever. There are worse deals out there, so I'm fine with it. I just looked it up with the box art.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is $40. Like $40. I would have been happier with that. 50 just anyway.
Yeah, box art doesn't bother me that much. Box art's terrible for this Pikmin 1 and 2 collection. It looks like placeholder art. I fucking hope it is, because it's Pikmin's 1 and 2 have really great art. Like, just do that. Just reuse what you got. What is
why are we reinventing the wheel?
Why are you just throwing away the wheel and put a donut on there? What is this shit? What is this absolute trash? Box art's terrible. So yeah, this was great. And then they followed Pikmin 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all going to be on Switch. That's wonderful.
That is.
And
great.
then they followed up with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. I was hoping it was going to be on Switch, and I'm so happy it is. But we got more information. It's got the NES games in it.
Now, is that just the Switch version?
No, it's all of them. Everybody gets to play Snake's Revenge.
That's so good. I'm so excited. The only thing that bummed me out about this release, this announcement, was that it's not fucking Twin Snakes.
No, I have to imagine it's not Twin Snakes, because this is the same release across all platforms, and Twin Snakes is just not coming to other platforms because Nintendo has a stake in that game.
Sure.
It's Nintendo, Silicon Knights, and Konami. So but
then fucking re-release it on its own, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that if this is successful, we get some sort of upscaled re-release exclusively for Nintendo, because it would have to be, of Twin Snakes and Metal Gear Solid 3 3D.
Yeah.
Snake Eater 3D. Because I watched a whole video Nintendo Life posted about, not Nintendo Life, but Good Vibes Gaming posted about the what made the 3DS one so unique. And it does have a lot of interesting, unique features in it. It
does. It's really cool.
It does the camera system is it basically took a bunch of the gameplay mechanics of like Peace Walker and applied it to Metal Gear Solid 3. And then it's got like, there's like Yoshi dolls hidden all throughout the game.
Yeah, there's a bunch
like,
of weird shit.
Even voice recordings like that specifically call them out as Yoshis. Like I was watching this whole conversation between Snake and somebody else about Yoshi. Is what?
Yeah,
I remember that shit in Twin Snakes.
Yeah,
Twin Snakes had a bunch of Nintendo stuff strewn about throughout the course of the game as well. Like Otacon had a Yoshi doll on his desk or something. I think there was a GameCube somewhere. Like, if Twin Snakes is going to happen, that's got to be something Nintendo is going to do. But I'm looking at this like, I have been itching to replay Metal Gear Solid for a long time. This is a great opportunity for me to do it. I've never got around to playing the MSX games on the last time they released them in a collection like ages ago.
Yeah.
So I'm totally into that. I am super stoked about playing the NES game and Snake's Revenge again. We were just talking about how we didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to show up on NSO. That was the only chance that they'd ever be there. But no, fuck it. Kojima's not here anymore to say like, those aren't canon. Get that garbage away from me. And Konami's just like, fuck it, throw them in there. Can't believe the NES versions, Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge, right here in this trailer.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
They added the digital graphic novels too.
Yeah, it's
like,
fucking great. It's fucking
this?
Great. It's fuck
insane.
You, Konami. You could don't give me hope, you pricks.
This just wonderful. The Switch version does have a enormous caveat in that, like, the special features are like a 40 gig download or something.
Yeah.
It's like, you're releasing a physical version with like 2 gigs of stuff on it. Everything else is download. Fuck you, Konami. Do better than that. You can do better than that. You don't have to do it this way. So yeah, I'm gonna get the physical one just so I can have a box and a cartridge because I'm a goon. But
yeah,
I'll probably just, if they give me the option not to download all the interviews and stuff, then I think that's like the biggest chunk of it is all like, there's like 30 gigs of interviews. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Well, and it'll be interesting to see because so all of the rumors are pointing to Metal Gear Solid 4, 5, like both flavors of 5, like Peace Walker, or not Peace Walker, fucking Phantom Pain, and the fucking like all the 5 shit, and then
Peace Walker, and Portable Ops.
Portable Ops. The Switch cannot do. I would be shocked if the Switch could do 4 and 5.
I mean, how soon are they going to do it? Like,
Konami's
the Switch's
weird
successor
like
could theoretically be out by then.
But Konami's weird. Like, they may very well already have it done. You know, like, they fucking whip those Castlevania collections out pretty quickly. You know?
There was a decent chunk of time. Let's see. Castlevania...
Or maybe I just bought them around the same time.
Castlevania Anniversary Collection. When did that come out? Anniversary Collection came out on May 16th, 2019. Castlevania Advance Collection came out 2 years later. 2 years from now, we still gonna be playing Switch games?
Man, better not be.
Yeah,
for Nintendo owners.
I mean, like, I'm sure some stuff could still be happening, but I have to assume that whatever the Switch successor is going to be, it's going to be fully backwards compatible because this library is too big to not do that. It would be insane not to. So obviously it won't be because this is Nintendo. But
no, it's not even going to be like Nintendo's just going to sell you ideas and you're going to play the games in your mind. That's going to be the next fucking system.
That's their level of insanity. But I have to assume that like the next system, that's where, you know, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 2 will be.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be coming next year, right? Like, not the Master Collection 2, but like the next Switch.
At the very least,
Whatever.
I assume it should be announced next year.
Yeah. Like holiday of next year makes it. Holiday of this year actually makes the most sense, but whatever. Anyway.
Well, I mean, like it's well, that's the thing. Like it is 6 years, right? 2017. It's 2023 now, so it's been out there for a little more than 6 years. So that's a pretty decent life cycle, and there's obviously still a ton of games in development for this system.
Yeah.
And it's only barely starting to slow down in terms of sales.
Yeah.
Games are still selling like crazy. The system is still selling like crazy. So like they could continue to push it off. I just hope they don't push it off too long, because this selection of games, like we said, it's great for Switch owners, but it's probably not doing much to convince new owners to buy a Switch. So
yeah.
Either way, I'm thrilled about this Master Collection. I could
that's
not
great.
be happier.
That's great.
I don't know what of it I'm going to play for sure. Like I'm definitely playing all the old ass games, and I'll definitely play Metal Gear Solid again. I don't know if I ever want to go through Metal Gear Solid 2 again in my lifetime.
Yeah, I know. You got to go through 3 though. 3 is so.
I was trying to explain the game to John, and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. I beat it ages ago, and it has just stuck with me as like, there was a certain point where this dude just started saying "lolly lule lo" over and over again, and then like the last boss was this dude, and then he ran away, and another guy shows up. He's like, I was in charge the whole time. That guy's a sucker. Gotta go. And then another guy comes out and was like, those guys were idiots. I was in charge the whole time. And I just remember looking at this whole game like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
I had a good time. I didn't need to see Otacon pee all over himself, but that was in the first game.
Yeah, that is the first game.
Whatever. It's
when
weird.
Gray Fox
it's
shows
weird.
up. Yeah, it's fucking. You got to get to 3 though. You have to get to 3.
I'm heavily considering. Depending on what my year looks like at that point, I will try to make a habit of actually getting into 3 this time. Because I tried. I bought it for PS2, and I really did try. But I got so caught up in the minutia of changing out my camouflage every like 4 feet because I was overly paranoid.
It just doesn't matter that much.
And that's what I need to get my head around. Once I get past that, I'm sure I'll make it through the game. Anyways, that's great. So we're back into riding high territory, right? I'm thrilled as can be with all the Pikmin and the Metal Gear collection, and then we get Vampire Survivors coming to the Switch.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm looking at this like, I can't believe they did it, because like, my Xbox One struggles to play this game in the later levels. Like,
yeah,
shit gets dicey. I'm like, all right, sure. I'm sure they did their due diligence to make this game function perfectly well on Switch. It looks the same. It's kind of hard to mess up this game's graphics. It's got to be
coming to PlayStation at some point, right?
I would assume so. But what really excited me about this is like, all right, cool, Vampire Survivors. It's still $5. I'll buy that again. I still haven't finished all the latest DLC because Zelda came out. So, yeah, this is a great opportunity to jump back in there. And then they show off 4-player co-op, and I just about shat my pants.
Yeah.
What? What is this game like multiplayer? Oh my God. Like,
it might explode.
I'm definitely buying it again.
That might explode the system.
It might. It'd be worth it. Smoking.
Worth it. I'll get another one.
Worth it. Yeah, the game's still $5. The DLC still is like $1, $1.50 or whatever to get those add-ons, and I can play it like literally with John this time.
Yeah, that's great.
That is so exciting that I can play this multiplayer, because both the
super
kids,
duper worth $5.
Oh my God, it so is. And I can't believe they added multiplayer. And the multiplayer's coming to Xbox and mobile as well.
Yeah, that's great.
But
I can't imagine how that works on mobile. You're fucking like, screen's already pretty small, man.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work on mobile. That is an interesting point. Maybe it's like local or something. But it doesn't ever go split screen. It's only single screen for the multiplayer, which makes sense. And like you have to share, like everyone shares the same gems or something like that. I don't know how.
Yeah.
It looks like everybody has their own unique life bar. I really don't understand how it works, and I don't care. I love the fact that this is a thing. I'm thrilled this is coming to Switch. This game feels so at home as a Switch game. It's
Yeah.
Very happy, Kris. Then we get this weird fucking pigeon game. What the fuck was this pigeon game?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Kind of into it because it's super weird.
It is super weird. I can't say that the gameplay itself looks very good.
It doesn't. It definitely
The pigeons
doesn't.
themselves are reminding me a lot of KK Flipnote stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is adorable, but like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. This is a very following Vampire Survivors with this, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening. But okay, sure.
But why not?
Moving right along. This Penny game, Penny's Big Breakaway. This looks cute. This is from
my
Christian
daughter
Whitehead's
Penny
studio.
was very excited. Hero was like, "Fuck
of that.
yeah!" She was like, "I definitely want that."
Well, it's from Christian Whitehead Studios, the guy who did Sonic Mania.
Yeah,
and who's been doing like the good Sonic stuff for a while, but that's all been 2D. This is a 3D action adventure thing.
I thought it looked really cool. Actually, like I thought it looked really nice, and like it looked like it controlled in an interesting way. You know,
it looks like it's full of fun. It reminds me of like creative N64 era 3D platformers, but not shitty. I don't love the main character's design, but everything else around it I think is pretty cool. I love the name's pretty cool. Penny's Big Breakaways it's a good name. That was an interesting announcement. Not one that I saw coming.
Yeah, Hero was super into it. She just had a big like stupid smile on her face. She was like, "Oh, that's so cool." We're like, "All right, are we going back to calling you Penny now?" And she was like, "I don't fucking know." It's like, "Oh, you're so conflicted. Must be so hard to be 14." She was like, "We definitely need to get that when that comes out, though." It's like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll go." I started being like a dad at her, and I was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, we'll get so far in this direct, we've seen like Super Mario RPG that you want, and like the new Sonic game, and Pikmin 4, and now this Penny's Big Breakaway. Like, I'll go out back. Thank God I planted that money tree all those years ago. I'll go out back. I'll start plucking." dollar bills off the money tree in the backyard. And she was like, "We don't have a money tree." God, we don't, do we? We don't have one. Get a fucking job. What's wrong with you?
Then what followed that up was the Mario Kart 8 booster course. They only showed one new course.
But new characters
is coming 2023. They showed some new characters. We got Wiggler, we got Kamek, we got PD Piranha.
Yeah.
I fucking love this new course. It's just you're in a goddamn bathroom.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's like, is that a toilet? What is happening right now?
Why not?
It's like, yeah, why not?
Why not?
We're rolling around Mario Kart in a giant bathroom.
Yeah, Mario Kart's great.
I'm so into it. Good for you. Good for you. I can't wait. I want to know what other courses are though. Like, I love these new courses. They've been knocking it out of the park with the new courses. But like the old revamped courses, they've been doing a really good job with too. And I just want my Delfino Plaza back.
You got to wait till the Switch follow up when you get Mario Kart 8 Ultra Deluxe Edition.
We're never getting a Mario Kart 9.
No, it's never going to happen.
Never gonna happen. I mean, at this point, we basically have gotten a Mario Kart 9. Like, with combining with the DLC courses, it's like we've more than quadrupled what was originally in Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. Like, this is basically a new game. Why are you doing it this way? It's very strange.
I hope they go right to Mario Kart 10.
Just skip 9 entirely.
Yeah,
Mario Kart X.
That's right. Vin Diesel's a downloadable character. It's gonna be fucking awesome. I can't wait.
There needs to be more crossover between Mario Kart and Fast and Furious. That's all I'm saying.
100% does. 100%. They are leaving money on the table. This is what I'm saying. They're not trying to get new customers. I might have bought another Switch if they were like, "Yo, fucking Vin Diesel and Paul Walker in this shit." Yeah, we know he's been dead for a while, but we figured we'd make him cute and put him in a Mario Kart car.
Oh my God, I would kill for Vin Diesel in Mario Kart.
I want them to just go back and like start adding shit the way they're doing with the Mario Kart downloads. I just want them to add like one character from like the Fast and the Furious as they go along. Like I want Giovanni Ribisi, his fucking Volkswagen from the first one. Like start there.
Jesus Christ.
Give me Ludacris in Mario Kart. I'm in. Sold. You want to sell an OLED Switch to a guy who already has 2 in the house? That's how you
do it.
Oh
boy. Get Ludacris in Mario Kart.
That's right. Hashtag Luda in Kart. LMK.
Next up we had looks like another one of these like HD 2D things with the second Star Ocean game.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Remake of Star Ocean. Star Ocean's great.
Sure, I don't know. I've never played it.
Yeah, it's great. It's a big RPG.
Looks weird.
You ever play an RPG, Kris?
I've
yeah, all right.
fiddled,
you played Star Ocean. You're pretty good.
The second story R. Then we followed up with another huge surprise: is a new WarioWare game.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd get 2 WarioWares on this system. We just had a WarioWare. Now Get It Together was a pretty different game. This is Smooth Moves 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
which Smooth Moves on Wii was like one of the best Wii games. Smooth Moves is freaking fantastic. So we're getting, and I believe the Japanese name is actually like Smooth Moves, not Smooth Moves 2, but it like directly references Smooth Moves. So like
Smoother Moves.
Yeah, I am so fucking into this. Like, I didn't get the last WarioWare one. Like, I downloaded the demo. I was like, this is neat, but it's not really what I want out of a WarioWare game. This is 100% what I want out of WarioWare. Give me more Smooth Moves.
This was what I wanted.
Yeah, nailed it.
Don't deviate from the formula too much, kids. It's a pretty good formula.
And you know what? As long as they keep making games like this, they can deviate from the formula from time to time. I was really interested in WarioWare Get It Together because it was like this is an interesting take on the WarioWare formula. You know, I'm just kind of sad that it's been a while since we've had a new one, and here we are with a brand new one, like a year or 2 later. I'm thrilled, I tell you.
Good stuff.
It looks great. Then they did this weird bit where they were like, hey, the Nintendo Live 2023 is coming to Seattle. So, you know, everybody near Seattle who's watching this, good for you.
That's a little wild. So if you're in the greater Seattle area, great. If you're not, fuck you. That's what we have to say. We're Nintendo.
Then they drop the Tears of the Kingdom. And it's like, okay, all right, we're going to get some DLC. Show me what the DLC for Tears of the Kingdom is. They're like, nah, you're getting some new amiibo.
That's right.
Which I'm thrilled, but I'm also not, because I've specifically not bought the Link amiibo. Because, like, well, it's just Link. I don't need another just Link. Now, if there was a Zelda and a Ganondorf to go with it, that would be a horse of a different color. But there is no Zelda and Ganondorf, so I've left the Link one on the table.
And then
now there's a Zelda.
I edited that part down and sent it to Nintendo, and I was like, hey, guys, you know, you're apparently never going to give me Ludacris and Mario Kart, so you're not going to sell me an OLED. But if you want Kris to buy 3 more amiibo, this is what you got to do, and they listened.
Well, that's just it. I can't buy 3 more amiibo because that Link amiibo is now fucking gone. It came out a couple of times, casually, and didn't sell out immediately. Again. But then, like, as soon as this announcement happened, it's just like, now it's scalper fuel. Just gone. Selling for like $50, $60 on eBay.
That.
Like,
it'll
fuck off.
Again.
All of you bastards. But yeah, big beefy Ganondorf. Looks great. Zelda, that's not the pose I expected. I'm super thrilled about it. I think the 3 of them look great. And I love this game so goddamn much, I'm going to have to get it. Because, like, I have so many of these things. But, yeah, I don't think I expected to fall in love with this game as much as I did. And granted, they're not coming out till holiday. These look good.
There'll be a fucking 3-pack with all 3 of them. Fucking relax.
The Ganondorf one, I believe I have read costs more because it's that beefy.
That's it's fucking like stupid.
It's a super thick one. It's like, oh my god.
So we got to charge a little more? Fuck off. I hate that shit. I really do.
I'm sure it's like they had to charge more by weight or something.
So stupid.
We couldn't make him hollow. He had to be solid plastic.
He had to be a solid, beefy boy. That shit fucking drives me. I fucking hate that shit so much. Like, I look at it with action figures now. Like, McFarlane is putting out 7-inch figures with, like, accessories and hands and shit, and they're $20. Marvel Legends are 6-inch figures, which I know you're not a math major, Chris. That's a whole inch shorter, right? So that's less plastic with less fucking accessories at times. And they're $30. It's $10 more. Like, well, fucking hand me this bullshit. You just charge it whatever the market will accept. Ganon's bigger, so he had to charge more. Eat a dick. Eat a bag of dicks. Fuck off with that.
Like, I got it when they did, was it the Guardian amiibo for the first Tears of the Kingdom? Was like legitimately 4 times the size of the Link amiibo, and it had posable arms.
Sure.
Okay, this thing's articulated and it's huge. There you go. That's worth extra money. That's Ganon being like $2 more just because he's super thick and sexy?
No,
fuck off.
Stupid.
I'm still buying it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
And you're part of the fucking problem, Chris.
You know, once they price it beyond what I think it's worth to me, that's when I won't buy it. But all right, last announcement. They're one more thing. More Mario. And I was at first, I was like, oh, it's another new Super Mario Brothers, because like just the very first thing you see is this little talky flower and like the ground. And then it opens up and like my eyes aren't super great. But then they like zoom in on
You see.
So like there's the little flower and then like it zooms out, little Mario comes next to him and is like, oh, he looks just like New Super Mario Brothers. Oh, the world looks quite pretty. And then he gets the mushroom and they zoom in on Mario and I'm like, holy shit, that's not New Super Mario Brothers. That's like, he's got a facial expression. He's happy.
New Super Mario
expressive.
Brothers.
He looks, there's like art stuff going here. He's changing his facial features when he's moving. He's looking at stuff like, oh, this is legitimately a new 2D Mario game that they put effort into making creative. And that was just the beginning, because like as the trailer goes on, things get fucking weird. There's Koopa Troopas on roller skates. The backgrounds are all gorgeous. He goes through this pipe and like he looks out the other end. There's like what's the animation term for like his feet are moving super fast. There's like extra feet drawn in there from different frames, so it looks very cartoony. It's kind of like, it's not exactly what I've always dreamed a 2D Mario looking like. I really want a hand-drawn looking one, but this is close. This is so much closer than I have ever imagined a 2D Mario would look again, because you know the new Super Mario games have been sterile forever. But then he gets the fucking LSD flower or whatever that is, and shit just goes crazy.
Yeah,
the pipes all get eyeballs
getting
and
all
start
weird,
climbing around like inchworms and and like that's apparently the whole thing of the game. It's Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Like Mario's got a stretchy torso. He's turned into a spiky ball.
I wonder
weird ass sheep creatures. The flagpole goes away. Like
I thought that was really weird. Like as they're running, the flagpole goes like no, that's not what's supposed to happen. It's that's what it's supposed to fucking do right now. What's happening? This is weird.
The map looks great. You can play as Peach. You can play as Daisy, which is awesome. Daisy's never been playable in a Mario adventure game before, so that's super cool. It's got like foreground and background looking stuff.
I mean, you're just burying the lead, though.
Elephant Mario?
Yeah,
Elephant Mario looks pretty cool. I like the joke too. Like these weird talky flowers are apparently just like talking to you throughout the game that while you're playing, and like they show off the Elephant Mario, and there's a Goomba sleeping there, and like the flower's like, oh, look how peaceful that Goomba looks. Then Mario kills it, and he's like, Oh.
It's going to be a weird fucking game.
This is going to be a weird fucking game. There are things that I've noticed going back looking at it that are making me really happy. Thing number one, there does not appear to be a time limit anymore.
Oh. That's exciting.
I'm not a huge fan. Like, I got it back in the old Super Mario 1, 2, and 3. I understood back then. Even
for
Super
a high
Mario
score.
World to an extent. But, like, not anymore. I don't want a time limit in my 2D Mario games. I just don't. I want to take my time.
I want to explore.
Yeah, I want to explore. Like, the time limit was almost never a factor in Super Mario World because there was a lot of exploring in that one, and the time limit was always, like, humongous. But
yeah.
there doesn't appear to be a time limit. There also doesn't appear to be points. I'm looking at this scene where he does the butt stomp through a whole series of bad guy. I don't even know what the hell these things are supposed to be. They look like pots with eyeballs. But instead of like 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 coming out, it says good, great, super, fantastic, excellent, incredible, wonderful.
Yeah.
So like each one of them got a different adjective, but they didn't get points, which makes me think like if you do it enough, you'll still be able to get an extra life. But instead of just tallying completely useless points, it just kind of does this, which I think is great.
Yeah.
It looks like an evolution of 2D Mario that we have not seen since before the new Super Mario Brothers games. Like, I still maintain the original new Super Mario Brothers and DS is a pretty great game. And it was kind of the thing that needed to happen because there hadn't been a new 2D Mario game in so long by that point. Like, since Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, if you don't count Yoshi's Island, which is kind of its own animal. So, like, kind of as an interesting little reboot of reminding everyone why 2D Mario is good in the first place, New Super Mario Brothers was really cool. But then they just did that like 3 more times.
And it was just average.
Yeah, it was, New Super Mario Brothers U is legitimately good, but I wouldn't go so far as to call it great.
Yeah.
Like, it had some good, it is a solid game. But it was still so sterile, and seeing all the creativity that was going into it was very safe. Yeah. And the 3D Mario games were not that. I mean, Galaxy 1 and 2, Odyssey, like, these games are super weird and expressive and creative. Like, they have all these wonderful things in them. And then they did like the 3D Land and 3D World, and they were a kind of like mesh between 2D and 3D games. And they were also extremely creative and super fun. But 2D Mario has just been New Super Mario Brothers. And the only 2D Mario on Switch was New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, which is a fucking ridiculous title. And like, okay, fine, it's a solid game, but it's not. I've been wanting them to apply the level of care and creativity to 2D Mario that they've been applying to 3D Mario for fucking 20, 30 years now.
Yeah.
It's just been ridiculous that they haven't, and now they are. This game has so much love put into it. It looks great. I don't love the name.
I don't think it's a very good name.
I think Super Mario Wonder is a great name. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Like, I understand that I think like the Brothers thing is supposed to signify, no, Brothers are the 2D games. Super Mario are the 3D games. Like, whatever, who gives a shit? Just say the name that sounds good. But I don't really care. But back to what we were saying at the beginning.
Super Wonder Brothers.
This is a system seller. 2D Mario
I disagree.
Will move systems.
I disagree.
Really?
At this point,
no question in my mind.
2D
Mario games, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe has sold, what are the fucking numbers on that game right now? The remake of New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe on fucking Switch, right? Not even all that great of a thing to begin with. New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, this is combining everything together. That's not helping me.
That's not helping me win this argument.
I'm just looking for the right numbers. They just did a whole thing on it. Let's see. Super Mario Deluxe is the 9th best-selling Switch game at 15.41 million copies.
Sure.
It's fucking bananas. 2D Mario sells. That's a big deal.
I just
2D
don't
Mario
think it's
sold-
selling it to anybody who doesn't already have a Switch.
I don't know who doesn't already have a Switch.
But that's what I'm like. Plenty of people, I'm sure,
Well,
don't
that's
have
just it.
Switches, but I'm sure this game is going to do well. I just don't. I would posit that if you look at this and you're like, that's what I was waiting for. Not Breath of the Wild, not Tears of the Kingdom, not any of this other shit. New 2D Mario. At this point, because it's so late in the Switch's life cycle, I'm just going to wait to see if it's backwards compatible with the new one, and then I'll get it. I just don't see it as much of a...
you and me, but like to your average mom or parent or whatever who still hasn't bought a new Switch for their kids, who hasn't seen something that looks like a regular Super Mario Brothers game. They would look at something like Super Mario Odyssey and say, that looks complicated. It's a big fancy 3D thing. Oh, but this game looks... I can get behind this. This reminds me of the Mario games I played when I was a kid. So I'll buy a $200 Switch Lite for my kids and a copy of Super Mario Wonder or whatever the fuck it is. This is going to sell systems.
I hope so, man. I do.
It's not going to sell all the systems, but there seems to be a prevailing thought that this game is not as big a deal as it is. And the fact that new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe has sold 15.41 million goddamn copies. I mean, and that's that.
But it didn't sell the Wii U.
Well, no, it didn't. Nothing would have sold the Wii U.
Well, but I mean, it's a new 2D Super Mario game. You know what I mean? Like that, to your point of it being a system seller, like it didn't fucking sell the Wii U. I don't think it sold. I don't think the fact that it's on the Switch, like it's great that it's sold that many copies, and that's awesome. It's not the reason people bought a Switch either.
I'm not so sure about that. I think there are plenty of people who picked up a Switch and that game. But
maybe.
To your point about the Wii U, the reason it didn't sell Wii U is because nobody fucking knew what a Wii U was. The Wii U didn't have that. The Wii U wasn't the kind of a thing that parents would go in and be like, what do I play the new Mario on? Oh, I can play it on the Wii. No, this is the Wii U. Oh, is that a thing I add to the Wii? No, there was tons of confusion around the Wii U. The Wii U had so many more problems that no matter what the game was, Splatoon didn't sell Wii U's. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze didn't sell Wii U's, even though it was a sequel to Donkey Kong Country Returns, which sold a bajillion goddamn copies. Yeah. Nothing could have sold that system. It was a different entity entirely. But a Switch is a known quantity. It's a thing that's out there. It's been out there for years. And anybody who's still on the fence could theoretically, especially after the obscene popularity of the Mario movie, would see the new Mario game and say there's a new Mario game on the Switch. I think it's about time we picked up a Switch. Oh, and look, there's other Mario games too and other stuff, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I hope it does
especially
great.
Following what's happening with the Mario movie. I don't think there's any undercutting the importance of a new Mario game. I think it's kind of silly that this close to the Mario movie, we didn't know about this beforehand.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I think we talked about that a couple months ago of like, where's the new fucking Mario game? Now we've got Mario RPG and Mario Wonder and Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and the new Princess Peach game all being announced now. But how much of this really came together in the last couple of months that they could not have put a trailer for this game coming later this year in front of every screening of the Mario movie? Yeah.
You want to talk about a fucking system seller? That would have moved some shit right there. But,
what do we
I'm
know?
not in charge of things. What do we know?
Not much.
I think this game looks great. I'm thrilled. Overall, I give the whole presentation the B+. It was very good stuff that made me very happy, but it's like, you got to be a Mario fan. If you're not, then, Yeah,
this really wasn't for me. I didn't see
Metal
anything
Gear
on
looks
there
great,
where
but you don't need a Switch for Metal Gear.
No.
Vampire Survivors, phenomenal. Super excited for Switch owners who haven't played it to give it a try, but it's available elsewhere. It's Mario RPG and Mario Wonder and WarioWare and that's yeah, kind of looking through it like, yeah, all right, Detective Pikachu, I guess. Like, this is some solid stuff, but
Yeah, this is the Mario Direct.
This is the Switch is on its way out Direct, you know? We're gonna have next year. Next year's got what? Professor Layton, that Phoenix Wright trilogy, I think, or is it Phoenix Wright this year? I can't remember. Theoretically, Prime 4, although I'm starting to think they're holding off Prime 4 for their next system.
Yeah, that seems to be.
I'm surprised Prime 4 wasn't here.
I'm not. The only thing that I'm like disappointed by, like not even surprised, still no fucking information on Silksong.
Yeah, same.
That, like, you fucking cunts.
What the hell are they doing with that game?
It's going to come on 6 discs, I think, is what we've determined.
It's gonna be the biggest game ever made.
They've made it
I don't know
so
what's
big.
going on with it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good.
Solid.
I thought they did a really good job. Like I said, I disagree on the system selling part. I don't think there's really anything in here to be like, yep, now I have to get it. It's the best selling system this generation. You know, so I don't really think there's anybody still out there being like, yeah, that's the one. That's what I was waiting for. Thank God. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am. I hope they do, you know, incredible numbers.
Do you know what number Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is currently sitting at?
Something absurd.
53.79 million.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
That's insane.
Why would they make a Mario Kart 9? You don't have to.
That's fucking insulting.
There's just no reason to.
It's like I'm angry at that number. That's insane.
Yeah,
that is completely fucking pants on head psychotic. Tears of the Kingdom's already moved 10 million? Holy shit.
Yeah. People like Zelda.
They sure do. I didn't realize Breath of the Wild was still the fourth best selling game on the system. 29.81 million.
Is Mario Kart the best selling?
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is the best selling.
Yeah.
You know what? This is an interesting little factoid. So, in working on my the next Zelda video, for the longest time before Breath of the Wild, where the fuck is that list I was looking at?
It's right
before Breath of the Wild, where did I move it to? I was looking at it earlier. Why would I close that window? I'll do it again. I just thought this was a really fascinating factoid. Best-selling Zelda games. So, before we got to Breath of the Wild, the best-selling Zelda game was Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Which made sense because it was a Wii launch title.
It's a Wii launch title. It's a mature-looking Link. You can include the Wii U sales in that for however many there were.
That's the thing that's interesting. Twilight Princess, best-selling Zelda game. Twilight Princess HD is the second worst-selling Zelda game.
Huh.
Twilight Princess sold 8.7 million combined for Wii and GameCube. GameCube was probably just
or GameCube. Sorry, that's what I meant.
But the HD port for Wii U only sold 1.1 million.
It's because nobody had a Wii U?
Because nobody had a Wii U. But even that, Wind Waker HD, I just saw you. Wind Waker HD moved 2.5 million. Wind Waker HD sold twice as much as Twilight Princess.
You drop those two on the Switch.
Oh yeah, they'll do great on the Switch.
And over fist,
but I just thought it was super interesting that the best-selling one. I mean, granted, like a lot of that had to do with the fact that it was the Wii launch title. It was the Wii launch title that wasn't Wii Sports. There wasn't a Mario game at launch for the Wii. So,
also, am I crazy in remembering that the HD Twilight Princess really didn't do much?
You are not better? Crazy. Yes,
okay.
that is true. It did not do nearly as. It wasn't nearly as lovingly crafted as Wind Waker HD. Like, Wind Waker HD was a thing. Twilight Princess HD was like, shit, we're still not done with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, okay.
Worst selling Zelda game. What do you think? Not counting the CDI games.
The worst selling Zelda game? Like, is this including like DS and all that shit?
Yeah. Worst selling Nintendo-made Zelda games.
God, it better not be fucking Link to the Past.
No, it's definitely not.
Okay. I'm thinking like Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks. Like, that makes sense to me because they were so weird.
Phantom Hourglass is actually the 7th best-selling Zelda game.
Huh.
Phantom Hourglass did crazy good.
The fuck do I know?
Spirit Tracks, though, was all the way down at 18. Spirit Tracks did a fraction. Phantom Hourglass did 4.76 million. Spirit Tracks did 2.96. The worst-selling Zelda game was Four Swords Adventures for GameCube.
Aw, that's a shame.
Which makes sense, because, like,
yeah,
it's a shame, but, like, of course, the game that required 4 Game Boy Advances, link cables, and people to sit around. Of course, that's the worst-selling Zelda game.
That might be the most Nintendo shit ever. We're going to sell you a game, but you can only play it if you also have 3 other people who happen to have Game Boy Advances and link cables.
Twilight Princess 8, Four Swords Adventures is the only game that sold worse than Twilight Princess HD in the entire Zelda franchise. How crazy is that?
That's weird.
And it's also the Four Swords Adventures, the only under 1 million. Only under 1 million seller.
I mean, it makes sense, though. It makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that Twilight Princess disparity was fascinating, because, like, Twilight Princess has such an interesting legacy, because, like, it was really popular when it came out, but, like,
it's what everyone wanted. Or it's what everyone thought they wanted.
Exactly. It's what everyone thought they wanted. But, like, the fan reaction to that after it came out, like, really dropped off. Then it had a bad reputation for a bunch of years. Now it's, like, kind of full circled itself, where, like, no, Twilight Princess really was great. And
and isn't that the one where, like, the weird on the GameCube, the sword and shield are reversed from the Wii?
Yeah, because everyone was swinging their Wii remotes with their right hands, and Nintendo was like, no, we should make Link right-handed. But how do we do that without doing a whole lot of work? We flipped the entire game.
Yeah. That's
fucking genius.
That's fucking
lunatics.
Why is my TARDIS going off? Don't do that, TARDIS.
Time Lord showing up?
Maybe. No, it's acting like I just plugged some shit into it. It's my USB hub.
We did that for way too long. We still have to do the 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're going to take ourselves a quick break. And when we come back, it's 10, 20, 30, 40 time. We're going to talk about important games that came out in June 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. You are listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. Hi everyone, we are back. We have returned from our long, arduous break, talking about Clutch. It's time to talk about the 10, 20, 30, 40. We were talking about notable game releases on various platforms from 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. Let us jump 10 years into the past to the bright, wonderful year of 2013. June 2013, let's start with PlayStation 4. These are always fun because there's like a ton of DLC things listed on here. We've got a game called Remember Me, which I do not remember, so clearly it didn't work.
Remember me, even when I've said goodbye.
Tekken Revolution, what was that? A free-to-play exclusive launching exclusively on the PlayStation 3. I don't remember that at all.
Didn't play that.
No. Rugby Challenge 2.
Big fan of Rugby Challenge 2.
Oh shit, the original Last of Us. 10 years ago this month.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, that's big. I feel like nobody talked about that. It was on June 14th. Were we having a big 10-year anniversary of Last of Us somewhere?
I don't think so.
Seems like that's the kind of thing people should have been talking about.
You would think so.
Yeah.
All
right.
I don't know. It's a big hairy deal though. Like,
that is a big hairy deal.
I mean, I still, I don't know, man. I still like Uncharted better. I know that's like a weird blasphemous thing to say. I agree. I mean,
granted, I haven't played much of The Last of Us. It just does not interest me in the least. I have
it's just very sad.
That much depression in my life.
Yeah. Sad.
Move this there. But outside of that, I'm not seeing much of anything like the Gianna Sisters Twisted Dream, Grid 2 Modified Pack, Hotline Miami. Oh, the Deadpool game.
That Deadpool game's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hotline Miami, people really loved. I've never been able to get into it. I don't know. Again, that feels like
to Hell Retribution. It's got a 13 Metarank.
Oh,
holy shit!
That's good.
That's
a big game.
That's the deep red right there. Yikes.
It's the fucking deep red. That's funny.
Yeah. Not. I mean, so The Last of Us. That's great, but other than that,
it's not what you want.
Thumbs down. How about the Xbox 360? How about the competition? We've got Crisis 3, The Lost Island. Remember Me. I do not remember you. Remember Me.
I don't either.
So, State of Decay. Well, that was a thing.
Yeah, State of Decay is pretty cool. It's a good like zombie thing. I don't know. I feel like this was also at the time when we started to really get the glut of zombie shit.
Oh yeah,
and like really starting to get over zombie shit at that point. Like, all right, I'm good. I'm good on the zombie thing.
Oh, the Chronicles of Mystaria. That was remade. Chronicles of Mystaria was a remake, I think. This was on PS3 too. I didn't even notice it. Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystaria was a That was a pretty cool remake, I think.
That is pretty
the one
cool.
that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the two Capcom ones. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are fun. Good, like, side-scrolling, beat-em-up kind of things that have, like, some RPG elements to them. Like, light. It's not a ton of stuff you got to remember and whatnot. But
yeah. Deadpool, again with the Ride to Hell Retribution. Doodle Jump for Connect. Sign me the fuck up. Yeah, another... That's it.
Another ho-hum. I mean, Last of Us, clearly...
Yeah, far and away our big winner so far. Let's see what the Wii U had to offer.
It wasn't Last of Us.
Deluxe was pretty solid. Oh, New Super Luigi U. I couldn't get into that one because I really like New Super Mario Bros. U, but we just talked about time limits. I don't like time limits, and that's all New Super Luigi U was. It was like harder levels with super short time limits. So like, I thought it was a really neat thing, but I didn't really care for it all that much.
Let's make this game super unfun.
Game & Wario was neat. It wasn't quite WarioWare though.
Yeah.
But it wasn't called WarioWare. So it was still neat. It was a lot of tech demo-y Wii U gamepad stuff.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, that's not great.
No, not great. Not bad. Granted, it's only 3 titles, but all 3 of them were at the very least solid. So
yeah.
I guess it's got that going for it. All right, swing and a miss on those. How about the original DS? What was the original DS cranking out in June 2013? One game, Rhythm Core Alpha 2.
Couldn't tell you.
Moving on.
Couldn't pick it out of a lineup.
Same here. Oh, there we go. 3DS.
You found it?
For June 2013. This is the only game that I think could compete as far as like just overall importance with Last of Us, and that is Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big deal.
New Leaf on 3DS was fucking huge.
Yeah, that's a pretty huge hairy deal.
Massive. It's supported for a long time. Got a lot of new people into Animal Crossing, which only built when they made New Horizons for Switch. Yeah, New Leaf was a big deal. What else was on the 3DS this month? We got Mighty Switch Force 2 on the eShop. That's pretty cool. Picross E, the first of the Picross series on 3DS. That's great. Farming Simulator 3D. Oh, Project X Zone. I can't believe this. The game I couldn't believe actually got localized.
Yeah.
Was it like Namco Capcom crossover RPG madness hysteria
game? That's
game?
A weird ass game.
Bonkers. Let's see, we still in June here. And now we're on to July. Okay, yeah, not bad. Project X Zone, Picross, Switch Force, and of course Animal Crossing. 3DS, I think, had the best month overall, with PlayStation 3 right behind with Last of Us. That's great. Oh wait, we're not done yet. We still have PSP.
Oh,
How did How'd the PSP do? We got PSP and Vita, right? All right, let's see. PSP. Still cooking in June 2013 with one game, Class of Heroes 2. Again, couldn't pick it out of
No idea. Never. I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
June 2013 for the PlayStation Vita had Paint Park Plus, Toro's Friend Network, Quell Memento. Oh, Limbo. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, Limbo's awesome.
Minesweeper.
Ooh.
Sukaluk. Hyper Rebinder. Chibura. Holy shit, did they release anything good on the Vita? Like, what?
They really didn't.
What is this? Blinkin' Blobs, Jailbreak, Cardboard Castle? Oh, there you go. Epic Mickey 2. That's a game.
That is indeed a game.
The Jack and Daxter collection. All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Miko Gaku Monogatari Sane episode. Sword of Rapier. Calculator. Fuck.
I really hope it was just a calculator.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, Muramasa Rebirth. That's kind of cool.
That game's
Muramasa
fucking
the Demon
dope,
Blade.
actually.
Yeah, that game's cool.
That game's really good.
And just shovelware. Wow. This is like a really nasty collection of shovelware on here. Yeah, that does not change my situation at all. That's exactly how I felt about all of those. Good times. Oh, we're still in 2013. Oh, we're not out of 2013 yet.
What else we got?
Oh, we got a system launch. We got a brand new system launching.
Oh, that's right.
In June 2013, the Ouya launched.
Oh, big stuff.
Yeah. The Ouya launched with these were the games, the launch games for the Ouya. Are you ready for this?
I've already took my pants off.
Astronaut Rescue,
Yes.
Asteroid Ace, Beast Boxing Turbo, Bullfist, Don't Look Back, Egypt Reels of Luxor, Fester Mud Episode 1, Oregon Trail Director's Cut, Shadow Gun, Super Crate Box, You Don't Know Jack, and Bomb Squad. I can't imagine why this system didn't take off.
Fucking Bullfist. I've seen a very different version of Bullfist than I think that game was.
Ooh, but it's by Terry Kavanagh. Oh, now I have to find out what this is.
I don't know that you do.
I do. Terry Kavanagh's the guy who made VVVVVV.
Yeah, but it's called Bullfist.
Yeah, but it's called Bullfist. What is this?
Yeah.
What is Bullfist?
What isn't Bullfist? Is what she said.
Oh, it looks like a... Alright, so you're just a bull running into cars and people. This looks fucking great. Oh, you get a bonus bull rage.
Bull rage.
Oh my god, so you're I think you're gonna like this. The more powerful you are, like you get more bulls to like run with you, like in a clump. And
Sure.
the more you are, it tells you how much capitalism you can destroy. So like you're at the bottom and there's 3 bulls. This is can destroy some capitalism. And then you get a power up that says can't destroy most capitalism. And then when I said the bull rage thing, it says can't destroy all capitalism. And you're just a bunch of bulls running through a bunch of like old timey businessmen in their cars. This is fucking amazing.
That's pretty rad. All right, I take it back. I'm sad I haven't played Bullfist.
Me too. I mean, it doesn't look very involved. It's like an endless runner. It's like this is a cell phone game if there ever was one, but like can destroy most capitalism. That's great.
All right, so Last of Us and Bullfist. Those are our picks.
Without question. All right, well that's 2013.
Dear God.
Not a great year.
No.
Not a great June.
No.
Last of Us and Animal Crossing, really. Like, got a couple of all-timers, and then just a bunch of not all-timers. Well, let's go back
And a bunch
to
of
June
Bullfist.
2003. In June 2003, for the PlayStation 2, there were definitely video games released.
I am sure
Let's
there
see
were.
here. We've got Cubics, Robots for Everyone, Showdown. Wakeboarding Unleashed, featuring Sean Murray.
That game's actually
Big-
pretty fun.
Is it as fun as Big Mother Truckers?
Nothing really is, if we're being fair.
And to be fair, Unlimited Saga, RTX Red Rocks, Resident Evil Dead Aim, Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter,
No.
Merv Griffin Bounty Hunter.
That would have been a much better game. Fucking Murph Griffin Bounty Hunter. Super into that.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness.
Yeah. Your mom's an angel of darkness.
F1 Career Challenge. Naval Ops Warship Gunner. The Italian Job. Let's see.
Yeah.
Gotta move on to another page. I don't think we're quite done with June yet. What else we got? Next page. Yep, we're still in June. We got Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits. We got Magic Pengle, The Quest for Color, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb.
And his tomb? Get the fuck out of here.
Indiana Jones or the Emperor's Tomb. No. And. Freestyle Metal X, Ape Escape 2. There's a solid one.
That is solid. That's such a good get. I am continuously bewildered by the fact that Ape Escape is not a consistently made franchise.
That and Jack and Daxter really just make the head scratch.
Yeah, it really, really, really
I
does.
understand Naughty Dog doesn't want to make Jack and Daxters anymore, but I'm sure someone does.
But fuck you, Naughty Dog. I didn't ask.
Seems like
I didn't ask
money
what
in the
you
bank.
wanted.
They can crank out a Ratchet and Clank game like every 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure they could get somebody to make a Jack and Daxter game that's at least half decent. Come on. Anyway, yeah, not bad. Not a bad month. Not a great month, not a bad month.
Come on.
Pretty middling. Let's see how the Xbox did. How do you think the Xbox stacks up to the PlayStation 2 in June 2003?
Fairly well.
I think I'm going to have to agree because Speed Kings was the first game, but the second game is Midnight Club 2.
Yeah, it's a really good fucking game.
Yeah. Also, Wakeboarding Unleashed, Tetris Worlds Online Edition. I think that's the first online home console Tetris, I think.
Really?
I can't think of a previous home console Tetris that would have been online, right? Because we're original Xbox, right? So the original Xbox Live. There was no online Tetris on Dreamcast. So yeah, I think this is it.
Huh.
It was a decent enough Tetris game. I had Tetris Worlds. It was okay.
Yeah.
Evil Dead, Fistful of Boomstick, Midtown Madness 3, Soldier of Fortune 2, Dakar 2, Big Mother Truckers, Merv Griffin Bounty Hunter, Italian. It's always going to be funnier to me.
I mean,
SX
that's how old we
Superstar.
are, though, because half the audience is like, who the fuck is Merv Griffin?
What's Merv Griffin?
Never heard of that guy. Sounds
Look
like
at
a
the
twat.
history of Wheel of Fortune.
That's right.
Indie car series, and that's it. Okay. I mean, Midnight Club 2, phenomenal, but
Sure.
really, all in all, not much different from the PS2 lineup.
No, I was expecting
Mm.
different. I mean, Midnight Club 2 is really, like, that was such a big deal.
Yeah, it was pretty top notch, from what I've come to understand.
Yeah, they were super fun.
Let's see how the old GameCube stacks up, huh? We got Cubics Robots for Everyone Showdown. Again,
Fuck
there
yeah.
you go. Oh, Ultimate Muscle, Legends versus New Generation.
That might
Actually
actually
fairly-
be that might actually be my favorite game that we're going to talk about this entire episode. That game's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's pretty. I remember playing a little bit of that one, and thinking that was pretty solid, especially considering the only other Ultimate Muscle game I ever played was the NES Muscle game,
Which is so
fucking
not good.
terrible.
Yeah,
It is terrible.
it's real bad.
This one was pretty fun. Mega Man Network Transmission, not my bag, but was a pretty cool thing to have out there. Sonic Adventure Director's Cut. I don't think Sonic Adventure is a great game, but I have a lot of fond memories of it on Dreamcast
Sure.
in the GameCube version. Sold a bajillion copies. GameCube finally got Hitman 2, Silent Assassin.
yeah,
Wario World. There you go. Wario
that's a
World,
pretty
really
big
cool.
one.
Yeah, and that's it for GameCube.
Yeah, well, that's not much.
Yeah, again, fewer titles, but I think more heavy hitters than anywhere else between the Mega Man, the Sonic, and the Wario. I think I gotta give it a slight edge, but not like I'm not throwing a ticker tape parade for anyone ever.
Sure.
Because like Wario World is cool, but like,
but
it's
come
not
on
the
now.
Best Wario game. It's pretty good, but
it's all right.
It's not great. Yeah, it's all right. All right, let's see about the old Game Boy Advance. Hey, how's the Game Boy Advance looking? Sonic Pinball Party.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really fun. Yeah, it's really good. That's really fun. I like that a lot. Wing Commander Prophecy.
Oh.
Wow. Ultimate Muscle, the Kinnikuman Legacy, the Path of the Superhero. That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. I don't know
Donkey
that though.
Kong
Is it any
Country.
good? I wonder.
I have no idea. You have to look that one up. Who did this one? Let's see. Let's learn. Shall we?
Let's learn together.
Developed by Bandai. All right.
Love Bandai.
Is it internally? It's got a 70 Metascore with an 8.1 user score. So
That's
it's
pretty
clearly
good.
not hated.
Yeah.
It seems about on par with the GameCube version. Let's see. Deco says the game has solid gameplay, a fun storyline, colorful and detailed characters, and a very easy to master control scheme.
That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah. Okay. Something for you to look up. Something for you to emulate. Donkey Kong Country came out on Game Boy Advance, and I hate this version. Because it is garish and ugly.
Because it
and
is not good.
I'm not going to say it's not good. It's a decent port, and they put a lot of effort into it. But this version changed the conversation about Donkey Kong Country's graphics for so long. Of people saying, "Oh, Donkey Kong Country, the original Donkey Kong Country doesn't look very good. It's fucking hideous." No, it's not. The Game Boy Advance one's hideous.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo one actually looks just fine on even on HD TVs.
It does.
Doesn't look as great as it does on a CRT. It wasn't designed to, but it holds up. This Game Boy Advance one's the one you're thinking of if you think the graphics on Donkey Kong Country are bad.
Because they are on that.
Worked on the Game Boy Advance screen, but on anything else than the dark original Game Boy Advance screen, this version does not look great.
No.
Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2. Those games were pretty okay.
They weren't bad.
Yeah, they weren't bad. Space Channel 5, Ulala's Cosmic Attack. I did not play any of the... I didn't play Game Boy Advance Space Channel 5. Looks like it's got pretty middling reviews.
Yeah. That's not surprising.
Rome Racers. Oh, Rock and Roll Racing. I forgot that got ported to Game Boy Advance. That was a fun game. Stuntman. Oh, shit. Advance Wars 2.
Well, there you go. Man,
Mega
this is
Man
a good
Battle
month for me. Advance Wars 2, fucking Ultimate Muscle. I'm in.
Yeah.
Sold.
Stuntman, Mega Man Battle Network 3, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which has a 44 meta rating.
Oof.
Jet Grind Radio for Game Boy Advance, which was decent. Simpsons Road Rage, Spy Kids 3D, and that's it. Solid Game Boy Advance month there.
Yeah, that's super.
Not
I mean,
bad.
anytime you get Advance Wars in there, like that's just big.
That's pretty good. All right, well that takes care of 2003. Let's travel back in time. Let's travel back even further to 30 years ago, to June 1993. Let's see, there weren't any arcade releases of note that I could find, but on PC we got the Day of the Tentacle.
I love Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle is pretty solid stuff.
I love those games too because they are literally impossible to figure out. Like, you just have to click on everything. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, and I know people have argued for decades about, like, no, the game, it makes perfect sense. No, fuck, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's okay that it doesn't. But, like, it really does.
Because once you figure it out, then you can kind of piece together the logic that gets you there in the end. But, like, figuring out is like, no, you'd have to know this ahead of time. You have to be crazy.
It's the fucking, when we took the girls to an escape room for their birthday, I think I talked about it, like, when we did it.
Uh-huh.
And, like, we completed the safe room successfully. But they give you, like, you can ask, like, for 3 hints or whatever, like 4 hints, something like that. I think it was 3 because there's like 3 different rooms. And the very first room is the one that took us the longest to get through because you had to take these, like, we did the Mayan escape thing. And when you walked in, there were all these little, like, squares, right, that had, like, different pictures on them. And there was one square on the wall in, like, this chart thing. And it was the only one that was there. And then there was a big, like, relief on a different wall, and you had to put them in the right order. And it was like the two, a line equaled 1 and a dot equaled 2, or something like that. Okay? And you had to do it in order, because on the big relief wall, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 were all out of order. You know, so you had to put 1 in first, and that was like on the bottom in the center. And then number 2 was in like the middle row, but to the right. You know, like it didn't make sense. And the way you had to do it was you had to recognize as soon as you walked into the room that if you walked over to the wall where the one little square was before you found the other 8 in the room somewhere, you could have pieced together that this one had the little fucking circle. It had like 2 circles over it. So it was like, okay, this one means it's number 4. And if I match it up with these, but like it was so fucking obtuse, there was no way to figure that out. Like I see what you were trying to get me to do, and it doesn't work. Like as soon as we got that hint, it was like, we're done. And we just blitzed through the rest of the fucking escape room. It was like, oh, this is a stupid one. Okay, cool. Moving on. But it was like such a weird fucking thing. You know, kind of like with these games. Like you said, shut up, TARDIS. I'm here. I haven't done anything. Like once you know what the solution is, you can kind of backtrack your way to like, oh, I see how you wanted me to figure that out. Doesn't really work though. Sorry, that was a whole tangent.
Nothing.
I apologize.
that was a whole ass thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it really was. I'm very upset about that first room. It was very annoying. The rest of it was really cool and really fun. That first little section, though, I felt stupid. I don't like feeling stupid because I'm not.
All right, let's see here. NES still kicking in June of 1993. It's got 4 releases. We got Battletoads and Double Dragon. We got Cool World. Cool World.
Oof.
DuckTales 2 and Jurassic Park.
DuckTales 2 is great. Not as good as DuckTales 1.
Nope.
But it's really good. Battletoads and Double Dragon. Battletoads. Can't even fucking talk now. I'm so tired. Battletoads and Double Dragon is a much cooler idea than it is a game, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hard agree. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really cool, like, oh my god, Battletoads and Double Dragon. What a fucking cool idea. I'll be Bimmy and Jimmy and Blitz and Rash and fucking Ass Crack and whoever else is in it. Fucking Herpes, I think was the last one. It was Herpes, Chlamydia, and Pustule. Fucking, yeah, much better idea. And then I don't even remember what Jurassic Park on the NES is.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played the NES version of Jurassic Park.
I can't
too
imagine
busy
it's great.
playing the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out. Limited Run's re-releasing that shit, doing a Jurassic Park collection.
Somebody will find out. It's not going to be me.
So yeah, given the age of the system, 1993, good for you, NES.
Yeah, I mean, DuckTales 2 is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Good times. Let's see how about the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo had a bunch of games. We got anything good? No. Good. We got Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. We got B.O.B. Bob was all right. Blues Brothers, Kakoma Night in Busyland, Dungeon Master, The Great Waldo Search, Kawasaki Caribbean Challenge, Mario is Missing,
Oof.
Pocky and Rocky, Super High Impact, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Wolfchild, Rock and Roll Racing was pretty decent, Run Saber, WWF Royal Rumble, Family Dog, and Battletoads and Battlemaniacs.
I like
so Battlemaniacs is all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mario's Missing was like the biggest kick in the nuts to so many kids. There were kids everywhere that picked up that game. Like, oh shit, you gotta play as Luigi to fight Bowser and get Mario back. Why am I learning geography? Oh, the software
God
tool works.
Damn it.
You bastards.
You fucking bait and switching motherfuckers.
Oh,
Yeah, that sucks. Royal
that
Rumble
game
was
a
cool.
goddamn freak challenge. Yeah,
It was
Royal
fun.
Rumble was cool. Rock and Roll Racing was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
The unfortunate part, I love the Super Nintendo. I think it's a great fucking system. However, there are a gigantic number of interchangeable platformers that all seem to have like the same physics and weirdly too large characters for the screen and bad platforming. And I throw like the Rocky and Bullwinkle and whatever the Pocky and Rocky or whatever the fucking one you said is. Like
Bob,
there's just
Family Dog.
yeah, there's just so many of those like just average ass platformers that like it's the same game. Every single thing is the same.
Unfortunately, it looks like the Sega Genesis did not handle itself any better this month. The Sega Genesis had Barney's Hide and Seek.
Oof. That's I mean if you're doing a find the fucking asshole game, you gotta go with Where's Waldo over Barney.
Yeah, where's Waldo over Barney for sure.
Yeah.
Championship Bowling, F-15 Strike Eagle 2, The Humans, Mazen Saga, Mutant Fighter. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Mutant League Football, that's a winner.
That's pretty great, yeah.
And RBI 93 and Summer Challenge. RBI 93 was okay. Mutant League Football is the clear winner that month.
Yeah, no, that's great. What what has holes and rolls down an alley?
I don't know what.
Batman's parents. It's the actual. I mean, the answer is actually a bowling ball. There's a little comic strip I saw online today of like the Riddler being like, "Riddle me this. What has holes and rolls down an alley?" And then like the next panel is Batman looking at him with tears in his eyes, going, "My parents." And he goes, "Oh my God, no, a bowling ball. I'm so sorry." Really fucking funny.
All right. Let's see. Sega CD had 3
this
releases.
had to be it. This had to be the one.
Honestly, yeah. So far, so Sega CD has, in my opinion, the best game we've talked about this month, even beating out DuckTales 2. We've got The Terminator, fine. Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective Volume 2, whatever.
Sure.
But they had the masterful, damn near arcade perfect Final Fight CD.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, Final Fight CD for Sega CD was fucking great, especially after playing the Super Nintendo one for as long as I did.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, this is way better.
This is way better. It's a shame nobody's going to play it.
Yeah,
except Matt Adams.
Sega CD.
And his brother. And his father when he plays the videos with him. That's right. That was a callback. Do you like what I did there?
I do. I seem to remember what you were talking about.
I was going to say, you don't even know about the author we interviewed. That's all right. I got you. His whole book.
No,
Sega CD Summer.
I know what you're talking about.
All right.
Talking about it's baseball and things.
Yeah.
Sega CD Summer. All right. TurboGrafx 16 had no new releases. Turbo CD, though, theoretically had Bonk 3. I found a bunch of different dates for this game. There was a CD version and a HuCard version, maybe, of Bonk 3. I don't know. It's weird. But either way, Bonk 3 is kind of cool.
Bonk's Adventure was so great.
Yeah, they should be making more of those.
They really should. Like, honestly,
or at least
truly.
Giving me all the old ones.
Yeah. Where's the fucking Bonk collection? That's a good point. Solid point made by you.
I do that from time to time.
Fair play to the queen.
Neo Geo had one release with World Heroes 2.
I like that game a lot too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see how Game Boy did. Over in the handheld department, we're at Game Boy versus Game Gear. Game Boy has Battletoads in Ragnarok's World, Cool World,
never played that.
F-15 Strike Eagle, Joe and Mac, Raging Fighter, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Star Trek: The Next Generation, and Titus the Fox. Battletoads was okay on Game Boy.
Was it?
Yeah, it was okay. That's the best I got. How about the Game Gear? Game Gear, Vampire Master of Darkness.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Paperboy 2, Incredible Crash Dummies, and WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge.
All right.
Okay.
No, it's not bad. It's not fucking Final Fight CD or whatever the fuck it's called.
Not. That's it. Pretty weak 1993 June there, fellas.
Do better.
Do better retroactively. Let's
Go
see
back
how,
into the past and fix that shit.
Now, June 1983 is already looking better. June 1983, we saw in the arcade Mario Brothers, Dragon's Lair, and Spy Hunter.
Yeah, it's fucking... God, I love Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter is great. Dragon's Lair is a classic, although it's not really fun to play. It's really fun to look at. And the original Mario Brothers is one of my favorite arcade games ever.
Yeah, it's a really good fucking game.
That's great. Thank you, June 1983. What else you got?
Yeah, well done.
Let's keep it coming. Atari 2600. What do we got? We got Atari Video Cube, a.k.a. Rubik's Cube. Cakewalk. Earth Dies Screaming? What? Unfamiliar with that game. London Blitz, Robot Tank, Solar Storm, Space Master X7, Star Strike, Tutankhamun, Wall Ball, and X-Man.
All right.
I actually don't know most of those games. I have never heard of Earth Dies Screaming. I must know.
Didn't I just buy Tutankhamun for you, like at the Long Island Retro? Is that the one I bought?
You did.
Yeah. I'm actually currently wearing my fucking Long Island Retro shirt right now.
Earth Dies Screaming for Atari 2600.
This
is a 20th Century Fox game.
The non-$60 entry convention.
Yes, indeed.
Fucking
okay, this is kind of neat.
Still.
It's got just like, move a cursor around the screen. You got two lasers on either side, and you shoot at various things in space.
All right.
Interesting name.
Yeah.
Never heard of this one before. That's wacky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tutankhamun's pretty cool. Robot Tank's pretty cool. Solid month for Atari 2600.
Yeah.
The Odyssey 2 had not a goddamn thing.
All right.
System's doing great. In television, June had the Burger Time and Ladybug. I seem to remember Burger Time and television being pretty okay.
I'm sure it wasn't as good as the Coleco.
I can't imagine playing Burger Time with that fucking controller.
Yeah.
That's a lot of like climbing and a lot of, turning.
I fucking love Burger Time though.
Oh, it looks pretty good. Sounds good too.
Yeah.
The burgers look a little too green for my tastes.
I love a good green burger.
unless this is veggie burger time, I don't think this is.
I don't think that one would have sold as well.
I don't think so either.
Impossible Burger
Looks like
Time.
It plays pretty well though. It's pretty. Yeah, this is pretty arcade accurate, all things considered. Good job.
I don't know. I got to go to this Burger Time restaurant that's in Oakland. Like, it's a town over from me. It's just in a little, it's next to this record store that I like to go to. And it's just, it's called Burger Time. There's Burger Time machine in the little, restaurant. It's, super fucking hipster. There's, 3 tables inside. You know what I mean? The burgers are $38, and they fucking punch you in the dick. It's this is what you have to go through to get one. But, there's just, the sign that hangs outside, underneath of the awning is just a fucking 8-bit burger. And I love everything about it. I'm like, this is a place for me. It's right next to my favorite record store. I got to do this. There's a fucking place across the street called Lesba Veggies. It's like a fucking vegan lesbian cafe. I don't fucking know. It's super weird, but I'm into it. I love that I love that there's a place where I could be like, you want to get a smoothie from Lesba Veggies? That's fucking great.
Well,
anyway, sorry.
I can't add to that. So moving on to Atari 5200. The Atari 5200, the trackball controller was released, and a game that doesn't use the trackball controller, Frogger.
That's awesome.
Pretty solid rendition of Frogger, though.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
Great. It's such a fun concept. It's so simple.
5200 version's pretty okay. Then in the ColecoVision space, we had Ken Ustin's Blackjack and Poker.
Yeah,
and Super Action Baseball with Super Action Controller.
It did have Super Action.
Sounds pretty super. There were no games released for the Vectrex, and on Game & Watch, we had Mario's Cement Factory. And that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's June's not a huge month for gaming, right?
No, definitely not.
Kids are out of school, especially going back like 20, 30 years ago, of like, you weren't allowed inside. Like, we weren't allowed in the house, or at least not where, in my house. It was like, you're out of school.
Out.
Go away.
Go ride bikes around town, unsupervised.
Yeah. When should I come home? I don't know, when it's fucking dark. That's like 9:30, right, Ma? I go away. Okay. All right. I'm going to go fucking drink water out of a hose for a bit if I get thirsty. Is it my hose? Nah. It's just a fucking hose that I found in the fucking neighborhood. We were thirsty. Oh, man. I saw a picture the other day. It was just like you remember those like 10-cent water guns? Like the really cheap fucking water guns we had like back in the 80s. They were like, you drank water out of this on a hot summer day, and right now you know exactly what it tasted like. And I fucking instantly did. I was like, oh my God. It was so delicious. So delicious and chemically. But no, like back in the day, you're not going to put video games out in the summer because kids are not allowed in their houses. They have to go fucking live off the land.
That's why nobody has DuckTales 2.
That's right.
I mean, clearly I think the winners were DuckTales 2,
Last of Us, Animal Crossing New Leaf, and then the trio of Spy Hunter, Mario Brothers, and Dragon's Lair. Yeah, that's fucking great.
Yeah. Okay.
Overall, not too scabby.
Yeah. Could have been better, could have been worse.
We've had worse months.
We have. But that's it. That's all I've got.
Thankfully,
that's all you've got too.
Thankfully for you having to edit this week, we only made this one 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Oh boy!
Join us next week as Kris details his adventures in too many games because I'm not going.
Yeah, the entry fee is a bit spicy this year. It is a lot of money to get through the door to then spend more money. Like, going in there to buy things.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's real. Like $20 is what it should cost to get into a convention. I don't care what convention it is. I don't care where it is. That's fucking craziness. Anyway, I'll shut up now. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm a little hurt.
It's getting late. I got to drive in the morning. So that's going to be our show. Join us next week for the Stone Age Starter Kit for the PlayStation 3. I have no idea what PlayStation 3 games cost these days.
It'll be an interesting conversation.
Because, a lot of PS3 games, we started to get a bunch of digital stuff, but also, like, I don't know where the pricing is on physical PS3 games. Like, I just don't. So
it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's it. We're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep the show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for having another job and making me edit the show this week. Which means it'll probably suck, but, you're welcome. And we'd like to thank all you folks for dealing with my bad editing in the first place. Thanks again, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.